Fox News. He had suggested he could easily replace them, but now President Trump has disbanded 2 business panels, including his manufacturing council, instead of trying to fill a growing number of empty seats.
On Monday, the CEO of Merck Pharmaceuticals, Kenneth Frazier, the only African-American on the council, called it quits over the president's remarks in Charlottesville. That's when executives started running for the exits, 9 in total, from some of the biggest corporations in America, including Intel, 3M, and Tesla.
Fox's David Lee Miller at Trump Tower in New York. And after the president scrapped the panels, a 10th defection from the United Technologies CEO, tweeting that the politics of hate, intolerance, and racism must be denounced. The president's been criticized for blaming both white nationalists and counter-protesters for what happened in Virginia. The U.S. Attorney General is making an example of Miami, which is no longer a so-called sanctuary city. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal has this live.
Lisa, Attorney General Jeff Sessions delivered a tale of 2 sanctuary cities from Florida, complimenting Miami-Dade County for now complying with federal immigration laws and working with immigration agents. He slammed the city of Chicago for its ever-increasing murder rate.
In Chicago, I suggest the so-called sanctuary policies are one sad example of that.
The Justice Department didn't immediately respond to requests for proof that Chicago's murder rate is tied to sanctuary city policy. In a statement, Chicago police say the violence rate's going down and undocumented immigrants are not driving violence there, Lisa.
Thanks, Jessica. 5 crew members still missing after an Army helicopter went down off Hawaii during a training exercise last night. Officials say 2 Black Hawk crews were training when communication with one was lost. The Coast Guard military crews searching a debris field. Fox News, fair and balanced.
For me, it was the big S class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone wants the original, the authentic. And with a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the iconic luxury, unparalleled safety, and performance of Mercedes-Benz at a price you can afford. But just remember, only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer has the skilled technicians to certify that your pre-owned vehicle is up to Mercedes-Benz standards. And only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer offers an unlimited mileage warranty, so you can drive with confidence as far as you'd like for up to 5 years. There are pre-owned vehicles, and then there are Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned vehicles. Visit the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through August 31st and receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
U.S. trying to rally more support against North Korea's nuclear program.
The United States continues what the State Department calls its pressure campaign against North Korea. Vice President Mike Pence, traveling in Chile, pushed South American allies to cut diplomatic and economic activity with North Korea, to isolate it and force it to halt its weapons development. The rhetoric between President Trump and North Korea has calmed as the Kim Jong-un regime says it, for now, has decided against launching missiles around Guam, a U.S. territory. North Korea, though, has conducted 2 intercontinental ballistic missile tests since the 4th of July. The U.S. will conduct annual military exercises with South Korea next week. At the State Department, Rich Edson, Fox News.
Meantime, Vice President Pence is now cutting his trip short by one night after the White House announced a meeting with President Trump set for Friday at Camp David, planned to focus on South Asia issues. Should the First Lady of Zimbabwe be shielded from charges in an assault case? South African officials are debating that.
South African police say they want to charge the First Lady for allegedly whipping and throttling a 20-year-old woman with an extension cord with intent to do grievous bodily harm. The woman was reportedly found by Mugabe in a Johannesburg hotel room with her 2 sons. Photos show an inch-long deep gash in the woman's forehead and a wound at the back of her head. Police say Mugabe has tried to invoke diplomatic immunity. However, legal experts point out the law clearly says immunity doesn't apply as she is here on a private visit. And police say they are continuing with the charges to ensure she is processed through the legal system. In Johannesburg, Paul Tilsley, Fox News.
Stocks fluctuate, but then finish higher. The Dow up 25 points at the closing bell, closing back over 22K as oil falls further under $47 a barrel. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Woo!
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Thank goodness that little rainstorm came through. Cooled us off a little bit. A low of 73 tonight. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high 86, a low of 63. Right now, overcast, 78. Feels like 82 in Champaign-Urbana.
The Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon, Tay, and Jeremy Warner. We're actually in studio together.
That's right.
Didn't happen Monday, didn't happen Tuesday, won't happen tomorrow, but it will happen Friday.
We will be on the show, both of us tomorrow, if everything goes well with my home studio equipment.
This is going to be it. We're going to do a test run tomorrow to see how it goes, but we will be doing that, and that will be strange, I think.
It will be.
But it'll be interesting.
My idea is if we have guests.
Yep.
You 2 questions, me 2 questions,
that's
kind of
the
thing.
Way, yes, yeah. That's the way it's got to be.
And then I won't talk until you are end talking.
Right.
It'll be interesting because a lot of satellite radio shows are that way. ESPN shows, there's a lot of them that are like that.
And sometimes you can't tell, and sometimes you can. And here's my issues: when all of a sudden I can start to tell that they're doing that, it starts to bug me just a little bit, and then I forget about it and it moves on. But no, it'll be interesting, and it's funny how we've gotten into a little bit of a groove. Where I usually ask a question and then you ask a couple and then back to me for a question. And really, honestly, you're the better question asker. And sometimes
I'm a little bit of a question hogger.
No. But I don't mind. I don't mind because normally I'm like, yeah, that's exact. Every once in a while.
Except when it's Cardinals.
Yeah, then
I go, Lon, you got it?
Let Lon have it. He can do it. But once in a while you'll ask a question. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yeah, exactly. So it is funny how you kind of get into a groove. All right, we're off early today. Cardinals at Red Sox. That was last night, that Cardinals game last night. But, hey, you know what? This is one of those, that loss by the Cubbies was huge for the Cardinals.
I think that loss by the Cubbies was a little more.
Was worse.
Bunting,
there's no doubt.
What did you think of bunting Javi Baez? I know, Lon, you love bunting.
I do.
With 2 guys on, no outs in the bottom of the 9th, right? Or top of the 9th?
It was top of the 9th.
Top of the 9th. You're down 2 runs, and you bunt over.
I don't like that. Here's why.
Down 2 runs.
Well, that's true. You're down 2, right?
That's what bothers me.
Yes.
If you're down 1 run,
then I understand.
I'm all for it. Or you're tied, I'm all for it.
Right. And even if you're just down a run, you've already got a guy in scoring position. So I get what Joe Madden's doing. He's trying to get that tying run to second base so a base hit ties the game. But I don't like that. Not when you're down 2. I think anytime you're down 2, you take the bunt out of the equation. Right. I mean, if you're down 1, I still don't mind the bunt. I know all the sabermetrics go against it. But that is one thing that I'll never budge from. You've gotten me to budge from wins. That was a big issue with me early on in the show.
I mean, wins are the most important stat for a team, right?
Sure.
When it comes to an individual pitcher,
doesn't matter.
It matters. It matters. It's not like if he doesn't have 20 wins and this guy has 13 wins, the guy with 20 wins might not be the better pitcher.
Yes.
That's true. That's all that conversation is about.
And who's the guy for Seattle? Felix Hernandez.
Zach Greinke.
He was kind of Felix Hernandez was kind of the sabermetric guy before sabermetrics became popular. He won that Cy Young that year with like 13 wins.
Greinke did too.
And Greinke, that's right.
Greinke in the American League did too.
So it's interesting about stuff like that. So but Cardinals, I mean, this is one of those when you're playing at Boston, this is just a matter of try to get one of the 3. And the loss last night by the Reds was huge because that almost just eliminates that loss for the Cardinals. Well, it does.
Well, you only got 2 with the Red Sox.
Well, that's true. That's right.
It's a short series.
That's right. Get today, and then they go to Pittsburgh. That's right. They're going to do. I just read something today that Randall Grichuk and Lance Lynn both played in the Little League World Series. I think that's pretty cool to look. I wish you could see video back, and I'm sure you can find it, of Grichuk playing in the Little League World Series.
He went twice, I think.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And the Cardinals are going to visit there and play the Pirates in a game close to that. So that'll be pretty cool. I bet for those guys, that'll be kind of cool to kind of get back to that Little League age.
We have Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times at 3:30. We'll talk about Adam Miller transferring from Peoria Manual up to Chicago Morgan Park.
Okay.
The top sophomore in the state and one of the top sophomores in the entire country.
Got it.
Big target for Illinois basketball. Does this actually help Illinois? We'll see with Chin Coleman and that relationship,
right.
and if that pays off for Ayo Dosunmu, but obviously Adam Miller and Ayo Dosunmu makes for a heck of a team. We'll also ask Michael about Zion Griffin, who did not include Illinois in his top 4, despite just visiting Illinois. It didn't seem like that went over so well.
Okay.
George Condit, a kid out of Chicago, just got an offer from Maryland today. So more competition for a big man in this state. This state's 2018 class got a lot better.
Yes, it did.
Over the summer, guys like Condit, guys like Zion Griffin, Taylor Horton-Tucker had a huge summer. So we'll talk to Michael about that. But also, Illinois Athletics Director Josh Whitman.
This is cool.
He reached out to us on Twitter when we announced the Tay and J Show was going to end, and he said, I got to come on one more time.
Right.
And he's going to do that today. At 5 o'clock, he's going to come in studio. So we'll have Josh Whitman until the end of the show. We might push a little bit into Cardinals pregame.
Fair enough.
Sorry, Stevie J, but we want to get Josh Whitman in here. So our phone lines are open if you want to weigh in, 359-2255. It's 217-359-2255. Well, there's some topics I want to hit on, but we led the show off each of the last days as we were solo, kind of giving our thoughts about the end of the Tay and J Show, and it was kind of fitting that we both were solo because we could just get those thoughts in our own words.
That's true. Yeah. I totally agree, and it's something that we had not talked about. That's the funny thing. We've talked about a lot of things, and actually, Friday's show, we really haven't discussed a lot of what we're going to do.
My thought was just leave it open.
Let's just leave it open.
Yeah.
I do want one of these, though, and you know I want one of these.
Roll them up!
Warner Wrap, go!
So I can do that. Okay. You got to do a hockey minute.
I'm going to do a hockey minute. We don't want to burden ourselves with too much stuff.
Right.
We just want to let it flow.
I don't think we're going to schedule guests.
No. I agree.
I kind of want listeners, if they want to chime in, phone calls, whatever it is, but
that would be great.
I kind of want to just leave it open for us to just chat.
I do too. Yeah. Just talk about everything that we've kind of been through and what we've discovered and what we've kind of, I mean, this show has gotten so much better than what it was. And I know you and I laugh about if we could go back and listen to that first 2 or 3 months, wouldn't it be sad to listen to that? You'd be
I wouldn't.
We did have a funny thing today. Trevor, one of our interns, found the interview with the McCaskey guy.
Pat McCaskey. And at the very end of it, I guess, he said, that, or I said, when we finally do our last show together, or whenever this last show is, that will be the one interview I remember. I'm true. It's true. Let's play it on Friday.
Okay, let's do it.
I think it's like a 4-minute, not even.
No.
2 or 3 minute, because we got 2 questions in, and Lon and I just looked at each other, and I just gave the slash the throat symbol.
Done,
like,
and then I just started laughing.
Yeah.
I just started laughing like this is ridiculous.
And we finally just admitted on air that this did not go how we
work.
thought it was going to go.
But it was funny because Sunday night, and when I went to bed, I was laying in bed. That's where I do my best thinking. Although the older I get, the quicker I'm falling asleep, which is great. I used to just lay in bed for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, Lon, the reason you came to bed is to go to sleep. Why are you sitting here awake? But I just sat there and I thought, tomorrow I'm going to be doing this solo show without Jeremy. And it's kind of fitting because that's how it started. Yeah. And I'm not going to rehash it for everyone that has probably heard it or heard about it. But it was just one of those where I'm like, I need to script something. And you know me, I'm more of a scripter, and you said that yesterday. You're more
it was interesting because I am more the
you're more
script the show.
Right.
And I said yesterday, you helped me kind of get away from that. It's like, all right, have an idea of what you want to talk about, but not everything has to be scripted out. So I kind of went into yesterday kind of like, okay, I'm just going to say what I want to say and ramble a little bit. You had it more planned out.
I did. I had to.
But it's those kind of moments, you love to do that. Like
I do.
Certain moments there, Lon gets touched with something.
I know, it's weird.
And he just wants to write it. And you're a pretty good writer when it comes to that.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. And that means a lot coming from you. But I had to because I knew I would be emotional. So I'm like, I've got to get this on paper so that I can just kind of, it was funny the look on Austin's face that day because nobody in here knew what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And Austin was in here and I felt kind of bad. He was in studio with me, and I looked at him and I said, hey, I'm going to have you go ahead and go in there the first segment. I said, and then into the hour, I want you to come back in. We'll talk Cardinals and Cubs. And he's like, oh, okay. So he goes in the other room. Well, I started doing this, and then I got about 5, maybe 4 minutes into it, and I kind of looked over because, when you're talking alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just, even if it's eye contact, like these guys are on the other side of the glass, but just acknowledging that they're listening to you sometimes. And that's why I give the right. Correct.
Yes.
That's right. So as I looked at Austin,
great point.
You're right. I had this look. I wish I could like have taken a picture of that look because he just kind of looked at me like really intent, like what are you doing right now? And then at the very end, and it meant a lot to me, and it's something I'll remember forever, but he came in through the door at the very end and just shook my hand. And he's like, that was well done.
Yeah.
And then you had the complete opposite.
Yeah, Harry walked in and said, where can I buy chicken necks?
Where did that come from?
It was great. No, it was perfect though, because I just had this heartfelt thing.
Yes.
There was kind of a lingering, I don't want to say tension, because Austin was sitting here with me, and he was just pretty quiet for it. And Harry walks in, where can I find chicken necks? Which is so Harry.
Perfect. It's perfect. It's so Harry. But it was just funny. It was one of those things. And the thing that I wasn't able to listen to yours until this morning, and so I listened to it. And the thing that really, I mean, all of it meant a lot. You know, you said some great things, and I think we've both made each other so much better on the air. Absolutely. We've played off each other, and we've talked about that till ad nauseum about how you and I didn't even know each other, and we just started the show. Yeah. And we've worked together so well, me being kind of this side of it and you being the real heavy content, but also you're funny. And you know how many people tell me, they're like, I love Jeremy's laugh. No doubt. You have like a deep from like the bottom of your stomach laugh, and it's hilarious to listen to. It bothers
me, so I'm glad other people like
I think it's hilarious. Okay. I love listening to it when I play something back and hear it. But it is one of those situations where when I was listening to that and I was like, that's super nice. And then the thing that hit me, and I didn't cry. But the thing that hit me is when you started talking about the boys.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny how you've watched them grow up.
I mean, I remember our trip to Jupiter, Florida, and Andrew's this little 4-year-old that loves hot tubs.
That's right.
Right?
That's all he wanted to do.
That's all he wanted to do.
I'm like, that's Matt Holliday and Albert Pujols, and you want to go sit in a hot tub.
Yeah, can we go back to the hotel and get a hot tub?
Come on. But then Lucas, like you said, you've watched him kind of grow into a young man, and the way you kind of described each one was, you know, Lucas is just a good young gentleman.
When I first met Lucas, it was like, this is a kid. Like,
I know.
He's like, you know, he was 11 years old, but with the little brother, he acted like he was 18.
He did. He totally did. And then you were talking about Andrew, and you're like, and Andrew's just Andrew.
He's mini Lon.
You just can't describe him. But that really meant a lot to me. It kind of touched my heart when you started talking about that, and I started thinking, that's the amazing thing. We can talk about 7 years and what all has happened over 7 years since we started doing this show.
I mean, that's the stuff that hits me more than, I love this radio show.
Yeah.
But we've spent a lot of our lives together.
We really have.
Right? For me, it's been a quarter of my life.
That's amazing.
For you.
And I'm so stinking old. It's like a 1%.
It's been like a sixth.
Right.
It's been like a sixth of your life. Which is a big chunk of your time.
It totally is. And it's been fun. So Friday's going to be a good show. We're going to have some fun on that show. What do we got?
Cliff and Urbano with the perfect text. Stick to sports.
Stick to sports. It's exactly. Well, maybe we'll start talking soccer.
That's not a sport.
No, that's one thing in 7 years we've never approached.
Yeah.
A little bit.
We stick to what we know.
Like, I got you to
or what we think we know.
I got you to kind of start talking hockey.
Yeah.
And to your credit, you became, I don't want to say an expert, but you really became invested in it. And you, even though I don't really watch the NBA, I love talking the NBA, and I love anytime you're like, hey, I thought about doing this with NBA, and I'm like, yes, because I love the star power. But we've kind of helped each other through some of those things. But then when soccer came up, we both looked at each other like, I don't know anything about it. They play it on a pitch.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Messi,
all
I know. Ronaldo, right. Neymar.
And they all have a ton of money.
Yeah.
They all have a ton of money,
Great
and that's
hair.
all I know. Yes. And there's nothing
Wayne
better.
Wayne
Rooney, good call.
Yeah. Clint Dempsey.
Manchester United.
Manchester City.
Yeah.
Barca.
Yeah, good call. Look at that.
That's about as deep with word association as I get with
that's as much as it goes. All right, Illinois football. I know you were able to get there Monday, not yesterday, and of course, today they go later, I believe,
it's
right?
It's 5:30 day.
It is amazing how everybody, from TV to, of course, your site that I read every day, IlliniInquirer.com, it's all about these freshmen and how they're just making an impact. And look, that's scary in a way, and I think Lovey said that. Look, there's going to be negatives with playing freshmen. However, it really gets me excited and I mean this when I say this. I'm going to be patient this year. It gets me excited to know that could be the footing.
Yeah.
And hopefully you back up these classes with a couple of more that down the road, all of a sudden, you've got a pretty solid squad.
I'm going to keep saying this. This is year one.
Yes.
So for every fan or national media aren't listening to us, but everybody that pays attention to Illinois football, I just throw out last year.
Right, I agree.
It's just they didn't know their roster. They didn't recruit this roster. So now this is really year one. Like PJ Fleck, this is his first year at Minnesota.
Yeah.
He recruited that freshman class. So, yeah, that's more like his year one. For Lovey, this is more like his year one.
Fair enough.
Because he actually recruited this freshman roster. So I expect a lot of struggles. And just because it's year two, and if they win 3 or 4 games, doesn't mean Lovey's on the hot seat.
No, not at all.
I keep hearing that from people.
Wow.
Like, oh, well, is this going to work with Lovey? Ask me in 3 years.
Exactly.
Or 4. Because Josh Whitman, who's joining us at 5, gave him a 6-year deal worth $29 million.
And there's a reason he did that.
And he's going all in on it.
Yes.
And if it fails, it's going to fail, but it'll fail in 6 years. Right? Because they can't buy him out.
No.
They can't afford to buy him out.
No.
Right? So, like, any of this hot seat, like, that's not happening. So, it's going to be patience.
Yep.
And Josh Whitman, we'll ask him about it. That's what he's talked about.
Absolutely.
Right? That this is more like year one. He's kind of echoed those statements that I've made and said that, we'll see. We want to win more games. We want to win right away. We want to win Big Ten titles right away. That's not realistic.
No.
And you're going to see a much younger team than last year, a thinner team, actually, than last year. So you're going to have probably a rough year, but it also can be exciting.
It can be.
Because you have a new look offense with a quarterback who can run the ball. I think your offense is going to score more points. If it doesn't, I think you got major issues. They will score more points. You have a freshman class that's going to be here for 3, 4, 5 years. Right? I mean, they are going to be the start of what this rebuild is, and I think 15 of the top 40 players on this team are probably freshmen.
Wow.
That's a bad thing.
Yes.
But it's also exciting.
It is.
Because you're going to see them for 3 or 4 years.
And I know on your new show, which will start next Monday, the Jeremy Werner Show, but when football rolls around for you and then Tay and Carp, I know a lot of it, and I thought of this the other day. I'm like, we're going to have to do on Mondays kind of a freshman spotlight a little bit. Like what freshmen really showed up. What freshman is really making a major, I don't want to say major. Some may be major.
They have to.
Yeah, they have to.
If they don't,
that's a good point.
The season's not going to go so well.
So it'll be interesting to kind of track that as we go. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. We may have a few of these come in, so a lot of times we're going to break topic. But Kevin wants to join us on the Jupiter's The Crossing phone line about the end of the show. Kevin, how you doing?
Lotte, you got bonds?
Listen.
I just had to do it once before you got off air.
Well, I appreciate it, buddy.
Man, I can't believe it. You got me hooked on this radio show. I got it programmed in my radio in my truck and at home. I listen to it at work. And now you guys just kind of going to leave me hanging out there.
For 3 o'clock hour, I mean, you're going to have 4 to 6 and 9 to 11, man.
He wants us, though. He wants us. There's a lot of people that are upset about this. Well, Kevin, listen, we appreciate you listening. I mean, it means a lot to us. Every time we hear that, it means a lot.
Well, I really enjoy your show. You guys have kind of, I definitely, as being a musician, I listen to music all the time, but you guys have kind of put a really nice change in my routine. So
very cool.
Be listening to Jeremy on Monday. So
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for all your time, Lon. I appreciate it, and hope you have a really good time with your boys.
You too, buddy. I appreciate that, Kevin. I really do. And by the way, the buns, he's the guy that orders us the food. He gets our pork burgers ready. He gets our pork chops ready. So I think he's always wanted to do that.
Okay, I got you.
Every time I walk into the store.
Inside joke.
That's exactly
I'm
right.
glad you fill this in.
Because you kind of looked at me like, what is he talking about?
I don't know what he just said. I don't know what it's a reference to.
Right, but now you do. But no, we appreciate that, and we thank everybody for that thought.
If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. You can download the WSJK app. Just watch us live on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show. Get the podcast at espncu.com or find us on iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. Austin Birkeland, Harry Black, and Jack Long. Am I missing anybody?
Trevor
Valise
is
here. Is Jack here?
Yeah,
there he is. I thought I saw Jack.
Jack always hides in there's a corner that I can see, and then there's another spot I can't by the door.
Yeah.
And that's where Jack always is, so I never know if he's here.
We'll talk Illinois basketball recruiting, Chicago area basketball. Adam Miller transfers from Peoria Manual to Chicago Morgan Park. What does that mean for him?
That is interesting.
We'll also talk to Illinois Athletic Director Josh Whitman at 5 o'clock, but Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times, coming up next.
And we had to okay this with Josh. In other words, he thinks he's a big deal, but we told him we don't know if we have time.
We'll see if we can fit you in.
So basically, we're going to slide him in a 5 o'clock hour when we thought, well, there's really nothing else going on, so that's one time.
Okay.
I'm kidding, Josh. You know we appreciate this a lot. Can't wait for him to come in studio and do that. Lot to do. 359-2255. It is the Tay and J Show.
I'm Chris Drummond, owner of Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. Since 2006, we've provided the best professional carpet cleaning in the Champaign-Urbana area. At Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning, we use the Rotovac carpet restoration system to assure the best carpet and upholstery cleaning service. For just $99, we offer carpet cleaning for 3 rooms or 4 rooms at $29.95 per room. Google Drummond Carpet Cleaning and see what our customers have been saying, or call for a free estimate at 217-722-3663. Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. If we didn't clean it, it isn't clean.
It's Lon Tay from ESPN 93.5, and whenever I need work done on my car, I go to Long's Garage. No, not Lon's Garage, Long's Garage in Urbana on Main Street, just east of Schnucks. From engines and brakes to new tires, you can get a variety of auto maintenance assistance from the experts at Long's Garage Complete Auto Service. And this summer, beat the heat and come into Long's Garage for an AC check. Since 1941, Long's Garage has offered expert repair services. Visit them today at 503 East Main Street in Urbana, just east of Schnucks.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Alto Vineyards has long been a leader in the Illinois wine industry, winning over 700 awards in national and international wine competitions in the last 20 years. Now, Alto Vineyards, along with SJ Broadcasting, present Music Among the Vines, East Central Illinois' premier summer concert series, held under the stars. Stop by Alto Vineyards each weekend throughout the summer and indulge in Illinois wines, premium beers, soft drinks, and light food items, all while experiencing the best music the area has to offer.
This week, it's a music-packed weekend at Alto Vineyards Music Among the Vines. Friday, it's Candy Foster and Shades of Blue. Saturday, enjoy the sounds of the Katie Flynn Cabaret.
The way you sing off-key, the way you haunt my dreams.
Then be back on Sunday for Just Peachy for Wind Down Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. That's what's happening this weekend at Alto Vineyards. Go to altovineyards.net for details.
Never meet again.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know the quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday mornings 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkman with the 3:30 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. Life insurance is one of those subjects that make people want to change a subject rather than admit they probably don't have enough. Find out the benefits of life insurance can live on for your family. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood in Champaign at 217-367-1105. Three-star power forward George Condit from Chicago has been offered by the University of Maryland. Illinois is interested in the 6'10 power forward, though. The Cardinals had quite a tough road in Boston so far. They lost last night 10-4. Bradley Jr., Sandy Leon, and Hanley Ramirez all had 2 RBIs. There was a triple play, though, when Yadier Molina hit a sharp ground ball to the third baseman Rafael Devers, and they went around the horn to Nunez and Moreland. The 2 teams play again tonight. It's Lance Lynn versus Eduardo Rodriguez at 6:10 on ESPN CU 93.5. The Cubs scored 15 runs on Monday, but on Tuesday they could only score 1 in the 2-1 loss to the Reds. The Cubs could not score the tying run in the 7th or 9th innings, including a bunt by Javier Baez in the 9th, moving 2 runners on over down 2 runs. Cubs and Reds play Game 3 tonight, and the pitching matchup is Homer Bailey versus John Lackey. Tune into US 105.9 for the 7:05 call. So, yeah, the Dodgers, they're really good. They are 50 games above 500 now. They defeated the White Sox 6-1. Moncada was over 4 with 3 strikeouts last night. The 2 teams play a late one at 9:10 Central Time. It's Carlos Rodon versus the newest Dodger, Yu Darvish. And that, my friends, is the Sports Center update.
Lucky Quarterback's top receiver, B-Dubs, has the perfect wing sauce pairing. The perfect wing sauce pairing.
You won't miss that, will you?
For our Blue Moon Belgian White Beer. It's called Blue Moon Barbecue. Available for a limited time while supplies last and only at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Please drink responsibly.
Would that be something you'd tie into? What is it? White Belgium?
White Belgium beer from Blue Moon.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's Blue Moon's good. The one you put the orange peel in?
No, right. No, it's funny how I always feel bad. Like, I read that the other day, and I'm like, that's probably really good, but I'll just take a Bud Light.
Blue Moon barbecue sauce. That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. Well, I know, Jeremy, you're the one that kind of likes that kind of beer.
I'm one of those guys.
You're one of those guys.
One of those snobby guys.
There's a lot of those people right now.
I drank a Coors last night.
Look at
Coors
that.
Light. That's
Look
right.
At that. Are you still doing your 1 beer a night thing? I forgot to ask you.
My wife will get, she's been more of a 1 beer and it just helps her go to bed, whatever. But yeah, I'm more open to having that drink on a Tuesday evening.
Okay.
Right? After the kid goes to sleep.
I didn't know if we should be worried. Now that I look back and I realize that there was a lot of thought in your head about maybe the show and everything, now I'm starting to think maybe I do need to reach out to you.
No. Everything's good. I haven't gone I know people that have done a 6-pack a night.
Yes.
No, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
And that you'll gain a lot of weight, by the way, doing that. So I think for some people, they start doing that and they're like, hold on a second, I'm getting fat. I'm going to stop doing this.
Let's head to the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Reserve your next party or private function at Jupiters at the Crossing. Got a fantasy draft coming up. Jupiter's new private party room is the perfect spot for that. Birthdays, office parties, or any kind of celebration. Just email crossingreservations@gmail.com for more info.
It is time to visit with Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times. Michael, how are you doing?
Real good. How are you guys?
Great.
Doing well. Well, Adam Miller, the top prospect in the state for the class of 2020, and one of the top prospects in all of the country so far in this class. It's been rumored for a while, Michael, that he was going to transfer up to Chicago, and Morgan Park was one of those that's been mentioned. And then that happens. You broke the news yesterday. Just what was your reaction to this, and what does this mean for him and Morgan Park?
I was relieved that it finally happened. As you said, it's one of those things that have been going around. I do know that they seriously kind of flirted with going to Bloomington for a while, and that kind of fell through. Then they wound up here at Morgan Park. They'd considered, from what I understand, starting at Morgan Park, as freshmen, moving up back then. So it wasn't a big surprise. We knew it was coming. And, high school recruiting at this point is a little bit like college, where there was an open spot at Morgan Park because Namari Burnett, the stud sophomore that helped lead them to the state title last year as a freshman, he moved to California. So I think that, I'm sure Adam Miller and his mom noticed that as well, that there was a big gaping hole on one of the top teams in the state. So he'll fit in well there, and his game is going to be popular in Chicago. I got the chance to watch him a little bit at the Pontiac Holiday Tournament with Pierre Emmanuel, and he's just got kind of a style and a swagger to him that's going to go over, I think, really big in the city. He's the kind of guard people like to watch. So it should be fun for everybody up here.
Yeah, Michael, I know a lot of people ask about the transfer situation. I know you tweeted about it a little bit yesterday, but his mom moved up there, right? And, if you're moving, I mean, you can't stop that. It's not. I know people get really focused on this with basketball, football, whatever it is, but there seems to always be a negative reaction when you have a big time transfer like this.
Yeah, people get really upset about it. This one, to me, it's really hard to see how you can be upset about it at all. I mean, Derek Booth, the manual coach, moved on, I believe, to another position at the school. So, I mean, his coach left.
Wow.
What are you supposed to stay and be loyal to? I mean, I don't even understand where this comes from. And his mom taught at Peoria Manual, and they had a full administration change there. That's what led to Booth leaving coaching, and so her boss changed too. So you've got her son, the coach left, Willie Coleman took over. Apparently, they weren't great together. And the mom, had a new principal, so she wanted to move on. So I don't understand how anyone can get upset with a mom in that situation deciding to find a better spot for her kid. And I'm not even sure how it's anybody else's business when it's a parent that is involved making that decision. I think, to me, that's what it comes down to. If a parent is into something and it's their kid, then that's their business.
Well, Michael, if I get on social media, it becomes my business, right? Isn't that about how it is? Visiting with Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times. I don't think this kid with his skill set would necessarily need to move to Chicago to broaden his game with regards to a name, but what will it do for his basketball game in general, moving up to Morgan Park and playing in that kind of competition?
Yeah, that is a great point. A lot of times we'll see the Central Illinois and especially the Southern Illinois guys, they got to play their way into that ranking and that attention. And obviously Adam Miller was good enough that he had it right away as a freshman. So you're totally right. He didn't need to come up here. I do think that with the schedule Morgan Park plays, and this is no slight against Peoria basketball or anything like that, but it's definitely going to help them. I mean, we've seen enough transfers come into Morgan Park and other, CPS schools that even the best players, it takes them often an entire semester, to really get used to the speed of the game. And I think that really, really helps. And we've seen it with some great players, some guys that wound up in the NBA, some guys that are going to go do that. LJ Peak from Whitney Young, and he's a fantastic player. And it took him, a solid 2 months to get used to it. So, yeah, the quality of play is definitely higher. The worry is always, about qualifying and about his grades, and that's definitely not as strong, in the CPS. I don't think that's one of Manuel's great strengths either. So that's probably, same difference. But, yeah, that's the thing definitely to keep an eye on to make sure he qualifies because we know he's good enough basketball-wise.
Well, now we have, maybe the two top prospects in the state, regardless of class, on the same team. I mean, I just thought, how do you think Desunmu and Miller will play together?
Nick Irvin, the Morgan Park coach, he needs two high major guards in his backcourt. That's what he wants.
He's used
Charlie
to it.
Moore played with Io. Exactly. Marcus Levet, all that stuff. I'm sure that'll be no problem at all. What I'm a little interested in is to see the difference between the two. Because, sometimes I like to pour cold water on our recruits around here.
Especially Illini recruits.
Williams or, well, I don't think I was too wrong about some
of those. No, you were not.
I don't, and this is going to come off strange, and I know there's a lot of excitement about Io DeSumo and Talon Horton Tucker, but I'm not sure they would even be top 5 guys or top 10 guys in the state a lot of years in the past. They're our best players, no doubt, but they're not at the level, in my opinion, of a lot of the years in the past of our top 2 guys. So I'm very interested to see how this works out, just how close Miller is to Io. Because if you think back to last year's state tournament, who were the stars? DJ Stewart, a freshman at Fenwick. Namari Burnett, a freshman at Morgan Park. I mean, that wasn't a coincidence. Our upper classes are not at the level Illinois usually is.
Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times. You mentioned Io. How about Io DeSunmo now? I mean, he had a great summer, it sounds like, for his squad. I mean, what are you expecting out of him this year?
It's going to be a big year for him. I think he's an interesting kid, and I think he's a lot different than a lot of public league stars. He's not your typical city player. He's got a a large, tight-knit family around him. You know, his mom and dad are at every game. His sisters I see at every game. And he made an interesting choice initially in his high school career. Nobody seems to remember. He went to Westinghouse his freshman year. In his first recruitment, he chose a really weird option. They didn't even play in the red back then. They were in the white. So he, you know, a highly touted eighth grader, went to a white division school, you know, as a freshman. And, you know, then, you know, Morgan Park turned his head. But I think that's interesting. And I think that's something to keep in mind with this next recruitment, is he doesn't always make the selection you might think he's going to make. He's a smart kid. He's a leader. He's that type guy. So I'm thinking maybe he won't be the typical McIrvin Fire recruit. Maybe we won't have to wait until June for him to make his decision or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to follow. It'll be a saga all season, but he's a no doubt dynamite high school basketball player, no doubt about that. And he's definitely the favorite for Player of the Year.
Sure.
I probably saw Taylor Horton Tucker play his worst game when he was in Pontiac, but he obviously has caught the attention of so many big-time programs, you know, Kansas, Michigan State. What do you think about his game and how it translates to the next level?
Spent a lot of Simeon games and discussion about that one with some of the other reporters because, you know, like you said, some games, you know, he might not, he definitely won't be lighting up the stat sheet, but when he doesn't do that, he does do a lot of little things. You know, he's an excellent passer. He can handle the ball really well for a guy his size. And then when his three-point shot is on, it just lights up, and everything starts to look amazing. You know, the downsides with him are, for a guy his size, he's not a great rebounder, and, you know, he's not a great defender. And those are two problems when he's one of the bigger guys on the court.
Sure.
That's what I'm looking for this year to improve with him. If that improves, then he really rises in my eye, because he can do a lot of things offensively even when the three isn't falling. But I want to see the rebounding and the defense, because on the college court, they're really going to need that from him.
Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times. We just had Zion Griffin from Hinsdale South visit Illinois, and they didn't make his top four. While Illinois State did, Pitt, Iowa State, and Kansas. Have you seen him play, and what did you make of Illinois not in that top four?
Yeah, I saw him near the end of the last season in one of his playoff games. He reminds me of like a prototypical 1996 high school basketball star. You know, he's like the 6'4", 6'5" kid, a little bit bigger and more athletic than everybody. Like,
I love it.
Sergio McClain, you know, Gary Bell type that, you know, back then we didn't really talk about tweeners too much. It was just, this guy's the best player in town. That's kind of what Zion Griffin is, and he's a great athlete. I mean, as far as high major, I know he played better this summer. Everybody says I'm not convinced about that, really. So I guess I wasn't shocked that Illinois, you know, didn't make his list. I don't know what he's thinking there. But if you saw some of the other schools on it, aside from Kansas, I think maybe he knows what his level is at.
That's interesting. Michael, I wanted to ask you about George Condit, one of the big guys in the state of Illinois. Illinois, of course, recruiting him as well, have offered. What do you think of his game, and is he a guy? I mean, you know, we laugh about this 18 class that we talked all along about the 17 class, and, here's a couple guys in 18, but it seems to be getting stronger and stronger, and Condit's another one of those guys that appears on that list.
Yeah, and, you know, this is, I guess, embarrassing. I don't know. I've never seen him play. Corliss was, you know, there was no reason for me to go see Corliss.
Yeah.
The weirdest part is I never even heard a thing about him all season.
Interesting.
I probably saw 300 high school basketball games last year. Never came up. So, yeah, I don't know. You know, it's interesting what we read. I would say, you know, I'm always the wet blanket guy, but be very careful about these guys that you only hear about during the spring and summer. Everybody goes to these recruiting events. They need somebody to write about.
Yeah.
Every year somebody becomes Wilt Chamberlain, and then the high school basketball season starts, and they recede back into where they came from.
Right.
Not going to say that's going to happen to George Condit. I'm excited to go see him. You know, I'm glad that Zion Griffin played well. But, you know, there's been that storyline, like you guys talked about a lot of guys playing themselves into offers this spring and summer, and that happens a lot. I don't know if you remember Julian Torres from Bolingbrook. He was a 6'9" big man about 3 years ago that was mid-major, was going to go crazy big because it was a great summer. Well, he didn't have much of a senior year. So I would be a little bit wary about Condit as well, just because we don't know what he does when anybody really plays defense against him.
Michael, I'm just wondering, you talk to a lot of people up in Chicago area, and this is always the topic. I mean, how is Illinois perceived? They don't win a lot of games, but especially the last decade here.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the talk about Brad Underwood and this staff up in Chicago now?
There was a little kerfuffle there when I suppose I'm at fault. I just called Robert Smith from Simeon, kind of to do the usual, how are things with Brad Underwood? How is it good? And then we found out that they hadn't spoken yet. So that thing blew up. But, they handled that well, took care of that quickly. The assistant coach hires have been tremendous. And in a lot of ways around here, that's more important. So, Chin Coleman, a very big deal. Antigua, knows what he's doing. So I think things are good. And I say this every time, I come on with you guys. It doesn't even matter who the coach is until they make the tournament.
Yep. Interesting.
They just have to find a way into that tournament somehow, because it's just like you're not in the game, if you're not in the tournament. And the high-level kids don't want to take a chance. They don't want to be the ones to lead you into the tournament. That's a Northwestern thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to. They have to be in that. There's no point in playing college basketball with a lot of these kids if you're not going to be in the big show.
I want to ask you about the other local programs there, Northwestern. Do they have momentum in this state? And DePaul, new arena,
right?
Shane Hireman making some noise. Just what do you make of those two programs right now?
The DePaul thing is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the new arena looks like. I could see how maybe that would give them, a little bit of juice. Maybe if there's a lot of activity happening there, they have nowhere to go but up. So
right.
It can really, I feel like it can only get better, right? They've brought in some big players from around the country. I think they'll really benefit when our talent level turns back around. I think it's hurting Illinois now too. Northwestern, has upped their game a little bit, so it hasn't bothered them as much. But I think once our talent cycle turns around, DePaul's going to benefit, because even our third tier guys will be a lot better. They might be going for an IO and a THT, in a good year.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll help them. The future, hopefully, is bright enough. I think Loyola did a great job. I think Porter Moser is really killing it up there. I mean, I think Krutwig, the big man they brought in from Jacobs, is going to be an immediate impact player. Lucas Williamson from Whitney Young, he just does it all. He's not great at anything, but he's one of those kids who's really good at every part of basketball. And then, you got a really athletic kid, Christian Negrin from Elgin. I would definitely keep your eye on Loyola. They could really start making moves,
especially in that Missouri Valley.
Yes, without a doubt,
no doubt about it.
Well, Michael,
I will say my one Illinois tidbit. I heard you guys talking earlier about the football freshmen. I'm far from a football expert, but I do have to watch like 3 or 4 high school games a week because of all the sometimes budget cuts.
Sure. Yeah.
And Ricky Smalling, oh my goodness,
he's good.
He would have been, if I picked player of the year, he'd have been our player of the year the last 2 years, even when he was a junior. I thought he was literally head and shoulders above any other player in our area the last 2 years. He's just a special game-breaking kid that catches anything thrown within like 20 feet of him. I think he's incredible. He's going to be a lot of fun for you guys.
Michael, I was told last year by an Illinois assistant during the season, Ricky Smalling would start for us right now.
Wow.
And I think he's going to make a big impact right away.
Big time. Yeah. Big time. Michael O'Brien, do you think, last one for me, that the run that we went on, this state of Illinois, with regards to the talent that came out of here in the last decade, I mean, obviously can get back to that, but how long will it be before we get back to that kind of a run?
I don't know if we ever will get back to that. When you're talking, from Derrick Rose, Evan Turner, Jaleel Okafor, Cliff Alexander, Anthony Davis, but I mean, we may not see that again. None of us are very young, so that might not happen in time, but we will get back to the, 10 high major guys.
Yes.
That's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to that for my job. We need to get back to that for, all the programs in the state. That's where we need to get to. All of us obsessing about 2 high major kids in a whole class for our state is just kind of pathetic.
I agree.
We need to move on. So I'm hoping it comes soon, but, we're seeing these kids move away. Namari Burnett leaving, it was a huge problem. We've lost some other kids recently. Apparently we lost our next superstar, Patrick Baldwin Jr., who, his dad was a Northwestern assistant. He got a job, Wisconsin, Milwaukee. That was just a huge blow. He was going to be our next big star. So it's hard to say because I feel like they keep leaving because there's so many problems in the state. There's so many problems in this city, in Chicago, where I am. That stuff matters to sports. People are leaving. They're not coming here.
You're seeing that with football, too. Virtus Brown, Houston Griffiths, some other kids are leaving, too. Michael O'Brien, Chicago Sun-Times. Great stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, great to talk to you guys.
All right, you too.
Thank you, buddy.
The Big Ten released the Illini basketball schedule, and it's got some interesting things on it.
Really?
Some really interesting things on it. We'll talk about that when we come back.
I want to do that, and I want to react to a couple of things that Michael O'Brien said. We'll do it all next. It is the Tay and J Show.
Protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Buyer's inspection with a buyback guarantee and seller's inspection. No surprises before closing. Owned by me, Aaron Allenbaugh, and my wife, Kim, and serving all of East Central Illinois. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Beacon Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at beaconinsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Beacon Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Beacon Insurance on Facebook today.
Managing your finances has never been easier than now at the U of I Community Credit Union. Hi, it's Lisa Paul, your SJ Broadcasting financial expert. Stop by one of our branches today and open a new Illini Plus checking account. You'll thank yourself later because this benefit-packed account combines savings and security all in one place. With no minimum balance required, Illini Plus checking at the U of I Community Credit Union offers tons of features like ID Protect, cashback member rewards, travel and leisure discounts, and cellular telephone protection. This great account is waiting for you, and it's convenient with over 50,000 surcharge-free ATMs. That's right, 50,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Let us be your financial coaches because no one cheers louder and works harder for the community than the U of I Community Credit Union.
U of I Community Credit Union for campus and community.
It's Lante
and Mike Carpenter.
And starting Monday, August 21st, join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. for Tay and Carp.
You can tune in to ESPN 93.5 or stream worldwide on the WSJK app and ESPNCU.com.
Hi, I'm Dan Moyson, owner of Simplified Computers in Champaign. For over 20 years, Simplified Computers has been helping local businesses and nonprofits with their computing and networking needs. We cover everything from servers, network security, cloud-based applications, wireless accessibility, computer support. In short, whatever technical issues your business runs into, we've seen it and we can help. Call us at 352-5000. That's 352-5000. Simplified Computers. Simply the best.
Hail to the orange. Hail to the blue with Game Day Spirit Fan Store. Game Day is the exclusive retailer of this year's Hail to the Orange t-shirt. Don't miss out on getting yours. Find the exclusive Hail to the Orange t-shirt at any of the Game Day Spirit locations or order online at GameDaySpirit.com. Youth, adult, and extended sizes available in the BOGO section at Game Day Spirit. Located at 519 East Green Street in Campustown and now open at their new location at 1602 South Neal Street in Champaign. Game Day Spirit. Go Illini!
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
So the Big Ten just released the Illinois basketball schedule, and there are a lot of interesting things here on. Let's just dig right into it. December 1st, the Illini start their Big Ten schedule. They go to Northwestern, which actually...
You said December 1st. You mean January 1st.
No, December 1st.
Oh, it is December 1st.
They go to Northwestern, which actually is at Rosemont.
Wow.
The All-State Arena, which is going to have kind of like a nice neutral site atmosphere.
I totally agree.
In December, we're going to have a couple of those with UNLV out in Vegas, and then Missouri and St. Louis, New Mexico State, in the United Center that no one's excited about.
No.
Even though it's a Lou Henson day. But Northwestern, you start December 1st. Then you have December 3rd home against Maryland. Then you have a month off of conference play.
How weird.
Before you go to Minnesota, go to Michigan. We'll break down the schedule here.
Okay.
Why?
Yes.
Because they're playing the Big Ten tournament in New York City,
okay.
And it's got to be a week earlier this year because of the Big East. has their conference tournament.
So
the
interesting.
same week that the Big Ten usually does in Indy or Chicago or DC like last year. That's what you have to do. And this is Delaney's big plan.
Yes.
Which I told you can never doubt Delaney.
No.
But this is not good because it's a condensed schedule. You have 4 games in the last 8 days of the season, which wrap up on February 25th, which is 2 weeks usually before the regular season ends. But Illinois starts the Big Ten schedule with 5 of 7 on the road. At Northwestern, home against Maryland, at Minnesota, at Michigan, home against Iowa, at Nebraska, at Wisconsin. Then you follow with 5 of the next 6 at home versus Michigan State, versus Indiana, Rutgers, at Ohio State, versus Wisconsin, home against Penn State. So that's the part where you really got to make some hay there. Then you end the year at Indiana, home against Nebraska, at Michigan State, home against Purdue, at Rutgers. So it goes more back forth.
It finally gets normal a little bit. I mean, that is, to me, that's very strange. Not the starting early. I understand that. And Jim Delaney, I know you're great. You've been great for this conference. I know they make a lot of money. But the fact that you even brought Rutgers and Maryland in here just ticks me off. And now you're messing with my Big Ten tournament. Not only is
I hate it. It's in New York.
Not only is it in
I kind
New
of
York.
liked it almost.
Yeah.
Because New York's just, I hate traveling to New York.
Without a doubt. And not only is it that, but now it's a week earlier. So you're going to have all this time off before you're like the Missouri Valley now. When it used to be that the Missouri Valley tournament would play, and then you had all that time before the NCAA tournament, which will be interesting. But this playing 5 of whatever on the road and then coming home and playing 5, I know it evens out, but that is strange.
I don't know what the rest of the schedule looks like if other teams have to do the same thing.
That's true, and I'm sure there is a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think the Big Ten is just doing this against Illinois.
No.
I usually don't go too crazy about the schedule, but there's just so much.
It's just odd.
So many unique things here.
Without a doubt.
Just starting a month earlier than normal, then having a month off.
Yep.
And then 5 of 6 on the road to start, or 5 of 7 on the road to start, and then 5 of 6.
It's crazy.
At home in a row. But the winnable stretch we talked about, which is weird to mention some of these schools in here. Home against Indiana, home against Rutgers, at Ohio State, home against Wisconsin, home against Penn State, at Indiana, it's at Indiana,
right,
and then home against Nebraska.
You got to make some hay
that
right
feels
there.
like a 5 of 7 you need to win. Stretch.
Without a doubt, because then I always do this when I open a Cardinal schedule. I would do this when I look at a Big Ten schedule. I always look at the end. And what do we know as Illinois fans recently? They've needed wins near the end of the year, and you're looking at the third to last game being at Michigan State. Good luck there. Then you've got Purdue at home. I know Illinois plays Purdue pretty well here at home, but it's still Purdue, and that worries me. And then you're at Rutgers again.
The beginning of the schedule sets up not very well for you.
No.
When you have Northwestern, Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin on the road. Those are all some of the top teams in the conference. Iowa's going to be a pretty good team, in my opinion. Maryland's going to be a pretty good team. And then you have home against Michigan State. The beginning of that schedule is incredibly tough.
It's going to be tough.
The Big Ten's tough. And you're not a team that we know what they are.
Right.
And you're very young. That's a very tough start.
It is. It will be interesting to see how this team is playing once the heart of the Big Ten comes around. Not that early December 1st, December 3rd game, but very strange indeed. The strangest schedule I've ever seen for sure. All right, next hour, if you want to weigh in, 359-2255. It is the Tay and J Show.
From the coffee shop to the classroom to our many convenient locations in between, Busey offers solutions to simplify your financial life. Enjoy hassle-free banking with Busey's mobile app and deposit checks, transfer funds, and pay bills all on your schedule. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bunny's Tavern is your home for the 2017 Chicago Cubs. Nothing beats watching baseball over an ice-cold beer, so enjoy $14 mix-and-match domestic buckets and $6 PBR pitchers 7 days a week. You'll catch every minute of Cubs action on Bunny's 10 big-screen TVs, whether you're inside or enjoying the largest patio in Urbana. With delicious daily lunch and dinner specials, come check out what people in Champaign-Urbana have been whispering about for over 80 years. Bunny's Tavern in downtown Urbana, your home for the 2017 Chicago Cubs.
Delicious food, cold brews, great music and art, Kids Zone, and more. Join us along with the Champaign Park District for the Taste of Champaign-Urbana happening this Friday and Saturday in Westside Park, Champaign. Try something new. Get a sample of local favorites as you explore exciting food vendors. Hear free live music featuring Rock Country Act, Murphy 500, and the danceable Sun Stereo. The Taste of Champaign-Urbana has something for everyone, so come to Westside Park this Friday and Saturday and be ready to eat. Get more details online now at champaignparks.com. That's champaignparks.com.
Oh, hey, hi, hello there. It's me, your air conditioner. You can call me AC if you want, but Mr. Conditioner is my dad's name. Okay, listen, you may have noticed that I'm using a lot of energy right now, and that's why you need to call an expert. Yep, the experts can give me a precision tune-up, so you'll save up to 30% on energy bills, and I won't have to work so hard, which is great because I'm about to pass out.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save $41 off an AC Precision Tune-Up. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm Lisa Brady.
Amazing Grace.
An emotional tribute in Charlottesville to the woman killed by a car ramming attack into a crowd last weekend. Heather Heyer's mother urging mourners to also stand up for injustice.
Find what's wrong. Don't ignore it. Don't look the other way. You make a point to look at it and say to yourself, what can I do to make a difference? And that's how you're going to make my child's death worthwhile.
Heyer was part of a counter-protest during a white nationalist rally. President Trump facing a wave of bipartisan backlash for blaming the violence on both sides. He disbanded 2 business panels today after more resignations.
The Democratic National Committee took somewhat of a victory lap, saying in a statement in part, quote, these councils disbanded because of Trump's failure to lead and the public pressure that followed. For American businesses and CEOs, an association with Trump has become toxic for many reasons.
Fox Business Network's Blake Berman, the president, in a tweet announcing the move, said he was ending the panels rather than putting pressure on the business people involved. Vice President Mike Pence, who's wrapping up a Latin American trip, says he stands with the president.
What happened in Charlottesville was a tragedy. And the president has been clear on this tragedy, and so have I.
But critics accuse the president of legitimizing hate speech and violence. Some Republicans urging him to unequivocally reject groups like the KKK. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham vowing to, quote, fight back against the idea that the party of Lincoln has a welcome mat out for the David Dukes of the world. Meantime, the president and vice president now plan to meet Friday at Camp David for what the White House bills as a meeting on South Asia issues. The Dow up 25, closing over 22K. Fair and balanced.
Sometimes, what you want most from your car is nothing. No headaches, no surprises, no anxiety when it's late at night and you're on some distant freeway in a thunderstorm. That bit of nothing is everything. And that's what you get when you purchase a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz from your authorized dealer. Because only an authorized Mercedes-Benz dealership has the skilled technicians to certify that your pre-owned vehicle is up to Mercedes-Benz standards. Only Mercedes-Benz can back their certified pre-owned vehicles with an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 5 years, with roadside assistance included. It's time to experience confidence that's as unlimited as the warranty. Visit the certified pre-owned sales event now through August 31st, and you'll receive 2 years of prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
The Pentagon just confirming a U.S. service member killed in Afghanistan while fighting an ISIS affiliate, the 10th combat death in Afghanistan this year. Debris, but no bodies found off Hawaii, where an Army helicopter crashed last night.
Communication was lost with one of 2 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters conducting a training exercise. Late last night, some 2 miles off the coast of Oahu, near Kayana Point.
There have been identifiable pieces of wreckage that have been located and recovered, including pieces of fuselage and one helmet.
Honolulu Fire Captain David Jenkins, still no sign of the 5 Army crew members aboard the Black Hawk. The Coast Guard, Army, and local rescue crews have several assets in the air and water assisting in the search. No word yet on why the aircraft went down. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
She was a matriarch of country music. Jo Walker-Metter has died. Once an office manager for the Country Music Association, she went on to lead the group for nearly 3 decades. She was 93. Today marks 40 years since Elvis died, but there's another reason for some sadness at an annual memorial.
A new admission charge of $28.75 added to the candlelight vigil at Graceland is upsetting many Elvis fans. For 40 years, it's been free to walk up the driveway to the gravesite, but now Graceland officials say security needs make it a must.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers in Memphis, where a concrete barrier and bag checks were also part of a larger police presence. Production on Mission Impossible 6 shutting down for now while the star, Tom Cruise, recovers from a broken ankle. He likes to do many of his own stunts, and that's how it happened, leaping from one building to another. Paramount Pictures still plans to release the movie next July. In New York, I'm Lisa Brady on Fox News Radio.
Dog Willie.
You go get that coffee, Jack Long.
Exactly. Jeremy, like
Intern.
in his last week here, just throwing out like, man, you're getting mean.
Didn't have enough time. I'm like, I got the most interny thing for you to do, which is get me coffee.
Yep.
Make me and get me coffee.
Hey, I sent Tyler one time to buy me fruit at Meijer.
If we ain't doing that, come on. That's what you got to do to rise up in this business. Somebody always gets somebody coffee.
Harry, at least he makes desserts.
That's right. Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at Chief Bauer.
Coffee! .com, sorry.
Chance of thunderstorms tonight, low of 73. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 86, low of 63. Friday, mostly sunny, high 85, low of 65. Cooled off after that rain shower. Overcast, 79 in Champaign-Urbana.
Rapping to Royal Blood. That's interesting. It is the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner visited with Michael O'Brien. We have some thoughts on that. We also just got the Illini basketball schedule released. It's a goofy one. At 5 o'clock, Illinois Athletics Director Josh Whitman is coming in studio to join us. He promised he would come in our final week. He's making good on that promise. Yeah. So it'll be fun to talk to Josh today at 5 o'clock.
We have an open phone line the rest of the hour. There's a topic I want to hit on that, Austin and I barely hit on yesterday, but it led me to dive into it a little bit more. We'll talk about that. It's a baseball topic. The Cubs are playing a really good player, and it made us discuss, is Joey Votto a Hall of Famer?
I like this.
And it made me think of even more guys that we can have that debate. Thanks for the coffee,
Look
Jack.
at that.
Appreciate
Jack Long.
that.
Well done, buddy.
Well done. He hit a button.
Fill my water next hour.
In here. But we're talking about the Illinois men's basketball schedule. Here's the non-conference. We'll start there.
Okay.
Southern at home, Tennessee Martin at home, DePaul at home, Marshall at home, Augustana at home, North Carolina Central. You throw out that Augustana game because it does not count.
Right.
For your NCAA tournament resume. They do not consider that game since it's a D2 team, I believe.
D3, I think.
D3,
Augustana plays Milliken, yeah.
Then you go to Wake Forest, which is a good team.
Sure.
Then your Big Ten schedule starts on December 1st.
So weird.
You're at Northwestern, which is actually in Rosemont at Allstate Arena because they're having renovations of Welsh Ryan Arena.
Do you know what's happening here?
Northwestern will be the favored team there.
Yeah, there will be.
Sean Morris just released, and I know Sean's a Northwestern guy,
right?
He has them as the number 3 team in the Big Ten. I don't think that's ridiculous.
Not
I think
at
Northwestern is that second tier, even if they're lower in the second tier, like 4th or 5th or 6th in the conference. I'd have them there.
They're athletic and they're experienced.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of experience.
Everybody back.
Yep. So that's going to be interesting. And Chris Collins is proving now that he can coach and recruit. He's starting to get some recruits in.
Home against Maryland. Mm-hmm. You're home.
You got to win it.
Yeah, you need to win that game, but are you confident there?
No.
I mean, we don't know what our Illinois is.
That's the thing. I don't know.
But right now, if I had to guess, I'd put that as a loss.
And here's the scary part. When you're playing Southern, Tennessee Martin, DePaul, Marshall, North Carolina Central, Augustana. I mean, I still don't know if I'll quite know what Illinois.
Wake
I think
Forest
that game, Wake will show us something, and then that game against Northwestern will be one of those games. When you go back to back Wake and Northwestern, that should give you an idea if you've got a legitimate shot in this Big Ten, especially. And they should have a legitimate shot against Maryland at home.
Then you take a month off. And you have from Big Ten play.
From Big Ten play.
You have Austin Peay at home.
Okay.
You go to Vegas and play UNLV, which would be a nice test, but you should win that game. The non-conference, you got to win most of these games.
A lot.
Longwood at home. New Mexico State at the United Center in front of 6,000 people. Missouri down in St. Louis. That probably is going to be a ranked team.
I agree.
A lot of people are buying that team as a ranked team, especially with adding the Jonte Porter now to that team, another 5-star recruit.
2 Porters on that team.
That's a big opportunity for Illinois.
Yes.
Then home against Dan Marley and Grand Canyon.
That'd be kind of cool.
On December 30th. And then again, Big Ten play starts.
And here we go.
So you started with Northwestern and Maryland, and we're just going by what Vegas odds would probably be. Would probably be 0-2 in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
At Minnesota, that's probably the second best team in the Big Ten.
0-3.
At Michigan, that's John Beilein.
Yep.
Now you got hopefully your John Beilein.
Yeah, right.
But he doesn't have the
yet.
roster.
That's correct.
Iowa at home, you got to win that game.
Yes, you do.
But that's a more experienced team.
And this is a team that really excited a lot of people in the Big Ten last year.
I'll give Illinois a win there.
Okay.
At Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Illinois a win there.
I am too.
At Wisconsin.
No. Come on. I'm not even watching that game. And they're not even, I don't even know how good they'll be, but I'm not watching it.
What's your expectations for the start of that season? 2-5?
Yes. I think if
they go 3-4, I'd be ecstatic.
I would be too. If you can go 1-1 in December, that at least gets you ready then that you're.
Oh, and then
can you imagine staring 0-2 for a month?
After that's gonna be weird having like a 1-1 or an 0-2 to start the season and have it there for like a month. Yeah, that's gonna be weird. But after that Wisconsin game, you got Michigan State.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you finally get to play some home games, but you start out against one of the top 5 teams in the country with Michigan State.
I mean, so to start that schedule, my expectation would be 2-6.
Yeah.
If you're able to get to 3-5, I think you're ahead of schedule.
Without a doubt. And then you're going to have to make hay.
At home.
You got to make hay at home against some very winnable teams. The only road game would be at Ohio State, and they could be the worst team in the Big Ten, or probably will be, which is so strange to say as well. There's a lot of strange things going on right now in this thing. All right, talking about the schedule, we're going to talk about Michael O'Brien, some thoughts on that coming up, but we're going to head to the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Brad Replinger wants to talk about this non-conference schedule. Brad, how you doing, man?
I'm good, gentlemen. How are you?
Good, buddy.
So first and foremost, I'm not going to get sentimental because I think this is the last time I'll be on the air with you guys on the Tay and J Show.
Okay.
Planning on bombarding both of you guys with all of the golf questions moving forward. Don't worry about that. But I'm not getting sentimental about this. I'm actually going to reprimand you guys a little bit. You should have announced that you were going to change the shows about a year ago, so you could have gone full Derek Jeter and gotten like a scoreboard pile from, every important thing, like stretch it out a little bit. Get some of the tchotchkes from other stations, right?
That's a great call. Yeah, because we could have We could have had listeners bring in gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Donna would have finally brought her beer.
Right. Yeah, no, Brad, you're right. We messed up.
Other guests coming in and giving you stuff. You'll get like signed jerseys, things like that. You'll probably get a banner hanging from somebody's rafter.
That'd be awesome.
Or whatever. So next time you look into that, I would just recommend going that direction.
A Tay and J Show banner hanging at the State Farm Center. Now that would be awesome. That would be great.
There it is.
Hey, they haven't hung banners in a while there.
Right.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Did you go there? Where's that bell? I wanted to reprimand you for that.
You said I was funny earlier. Trying to keep going.
Don't forget Hall of Fame circle or whatever it is they had going there for a while, where we had multiple numbers retired. So there were about 3 number 1 jerseys retired there for a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
I forget how that works.
And I think I did hear that you have to complete 7 years for your radio show to be nominated for a Hall of Fame. And so we're not even going to make that. So we really did this right. It's Jeremy's fault. Jeremy's fault, right?
So for the non-conference schedule,
yes.
I'd love to get your take on, because you'd have to think that this team likely, just for planning purposes, I'll set the over-under on conference wins for 8.5. I'd like to think they split it at 9-9 maybe. But with the non-conference as soft as it is, you head into that December 1st game against Northwestern, which, oddly enough, the last time Illinois set foot at the All-State Arena was 2005 for some game against Arizona in the NCAA tournament or whatever. So I'd love to get your take on a relatively new team, a new offense, a new system. and that soft of a schedule, do you think it's actually beneficial to these guys to maybe have an opportunity to gel as a unit and kind of figure out what their identity is going to be for the season? Or would you rather play teams that are going to be more battle-tested, like a Tom Izzo Michigan State team comes to mind, or if you play a Roy Williams out of North Carolina or something, some teams like that are proven successes in the college basketball world? Would you rather have those head-to-head matchups, or kind of the cupcakes that you see on our schedule here that may be more beneficial to growing the team as a whole, but not giving them the full battle-tested environment? Again, congratulations on a great run, boys, and we'll be talking with you guys in the future.
Hey, I appreciate it, Brad. Always do. Thank you.
Well, what do you think? Would you rather have?
I'd rather have this schedule.
I'd rather have loaded.
Yeah. Oh, would you?
The more I've watched this, the more and I know Tom Izzo has an established program.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the most competitive, because I think that forces
this
you.
Year?
Yes.
Okay. I'm all for that.
I think Brad,
year 2 going forward.
I think you try to do that every time, right? You try to, like John Gross tried to make his schedule to fit every team.
Yeah, he did.
It never ends up working the way you want.
No.
Football, you see that.
Yep.
They try to get this schedule to where it's perfect for you. Load it up. Give me because one, for me, I want fans to experience the best possible product. And I'd rather them see a good team rather than Southern.
Okay.
Or I know some of those teams have to be on the schedule.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But give me more DePauls of the world,
Okay.
even if it's that level. Give me Butler. Let's get a game with Butler or something. I just rather see that, and I think it forces your team up a level.
Okay.
Because, yes, it's nice to get confidence. You're going to have those games anyway. You're going to have a couple Southerns and Tennessee Martins anyway.
Without a doubt.
I'd rather have the teams that are good, that give me a chance to get some marquee good wins early on, than a team that just gives me a win in the win column.
Okay.
And I think the NCAA tournament committee, by allowing a team in like Vanderbilt last year, who was 18-15, is starting to show you,
no doubt,
like wins in baseball, it's more about the quality than the quantity of what you do. It's more about what kind of, I'm talking about the Cy Young Award, it's more about who have you beat, what are your stats, like what is your schedule like. I think that's more important than getting to 20 wins.
Fair enough.
I don't think 20 wins just gets you in an NCAA tournament anymore. It's who'd you beat? Did you beat anybody good?
Yeah.
And I understand that maybe you want to get a young team. I think it could force a young team to say, hey, this is the level you got to play at if you want to win.
And I'm glad you finished with that, because I am 100% agreement with everything you just said, except for this year. And I just feel like, and I know Brad Underwood's on your side here.
Yeah, he wants
on
to
your
beat
side.
this thing up.
And I don't blame him, and he's a competitor, and these kids are competitive, and I just don't know what I'm going to get out of this team. And I'm at the point now as an Illini fan, I just want positive. And I understand. I'm smart enough to understand that wins over Southern and Tennessee Martin.
Is a win over Marshall more positive for you than a close loss to a Wake Forest?
You're right. Any other year, yes. Or, I mean, in other words, any other year, I'd rather take the Wake Forest.
I'd rather see Mark Smith go play against a Wake Forest.
Okay. And I'm with you. I don't know that we're disagreeing completely here.
Yeah.
I just think this year, with so many new kids on this team, and after an Illini program, and I know this isn't helping them get to the NCAA tournament, they could win 11 non-conference games and still have an horrible RPI. That's why the Missouri game will be huge.
That win could actually hurt you for the NCAA tournament.
So this could be really damaging. But I'm to the point now where I think the Big Ten is strong enough that if you do some damage in the Big Ten, that your RPI can still grow to the point you can get in the conference. But that said, this would be the only year where I agree that I want this team just to experience some positive. I want Brad Underwood to get off to a good start with regards to, and I'm even being like shallow to the point of saying I want to look down and see this team being 6-0. Like that's where I'm at right now as a fan. Now next year going forward, no, I'm agreeing with you.
You're talking about the mental aspect of the game.
Yes.
If your coach can't get them over a 2-4 start against good opponents, I don't know if he's the right guy.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Right?
That is very fair.
If you need that 6-0 start, just to get there, like the coach should be the one that can get them through that.
Yep.
And maybe that takes a year. Maybe it takes a bad year.
Right.
But I think in the long run, just playing the best teams is one, the most entertaining.
Yes, it is.
Two, I think it's the best experience for players. And three,
and players want that.
Yeah, and three, I think it just ups their level.
Yeah.
Like, we always talk about playing down to opponents. Illinois has been playing these opponents terribly.
Right.
Like, Gardner Webb came in here and almost beat Illinois if Tyler Griffey didn't have that that bank in, right?
Good point.
Or last year, they lose to Winthrop at home.
Yes.
Right? Like, I'd rather play a good Power 5 or at least high major team. I'd rather play more of those. And I don't care what team I have, a young team, old team, whatever it is.
And I know Brad Underwood feels the same way, and that's why he made kind of the statement during that press conference of basically saying, this recently when they released the non-conference of saying, it's not exactly what I would want. Yeah. And what he's saying is, I want it to be tougher.
A couple text messages are pretty good here. 217 texter, Lon, with all due respect. I love how people start that way.
I know, right?
With all due
that
respect.
Means, comma, you're about ready to get ripped.
I did say, with all due respect. If Delaney had his way, he'd probably prefer to keep Maryland and kick Illinois out of the Big Ten.
Yeah, and my response was, right now, you're probably right. You may be right at this point. There's no doubt. I mean, Illinois needs to start answering the bell.
Doesn't it feel like we have to say, there's another 217 texter, boy, they have a tough start to the conference almost every year. You know why? Because you're not a good team.
No. That's exactly right.
If you were Michigan or Michigan State, you'd be like, all right, yeah.
Well, that seem's winnable. We're going to beat that.
That's a win.
Right now, you're that team.
Yes.
You're that other team.
Illinois is on the schedule.
Right.
They're a 6-12 team. We'll win that game.
Like right now, Northwestern or Maryland is going, all right, well, listen, we start here, but then, hey, I know we go to Illinois, but we'll beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what every Illinois or Maryland fan is saying right now.
217 texter, do you guys agree with Michael O'Brien, who joined us last hour, about his assessment of Ayo Dosunmu? He didn't seem to be as high on him as a lot of other writers, such as Joe Henriksen. Ayo Dosunmu, scout knocked down to a 4-star.
Okay.
He doesn't have the biggest offer list, right? Kansas has offered.
That has been interesting through
but it's not like a real offer quite yet. He's down their list. It's been an Illinois-Xavier battle, which is good programs. I mean, he's a top 50 prospect in the country, but Michael was saying, I don't think he said top 5 in most classes. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't think he's top guy in most classes in this state. That Kendrick Nunn year where Jabari Parker was there, is he or Kendrick higher? I think, it sounds like Michael would say that would have been a debate. Now, Joe, who it seems he's more the college guy, evaluation guy, is pretty high on Ayo Dosunmu. But I do think what Michael's saying is that he's not Jabari Parker.
Right.
He's not Jaleel Okafor. He's not Derrick Rose. He's not Anthony Davis. But Ayo Dosunmu would be one of the better gets Illinois has gotten in a while, and he's going to at least be in contention for a McDonald's All-American game. And he does have a long offer list, but he doesn't have the top programs coming after.
Are we spoiled, though? Like, are we spoiled in this state of Illinois with all the talent? And we asked Michael about that you may never see that decade of a run like you just saw. And maybe because of that, we're almost spoiled to say, well, listen, Ayo is not Derrick Rose. Well, we know that. And I'm not ripping on Michael O'Brien. I love his assessment. And he's one guy that doesn't mind just telling you. He and Joe both. They tell you how it is. But it is interesting to say that, and yet you still have a kid that is ranked, top 30 in the country?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's still a must-get for Illinois. Right?
Yeah,
he's still one of the, whether he was top 5 or whatever, he's still one of those guys you need to get.
And this seems like one of those national classes where there's not as many elite guys at the top, but it's kind of that middle class.
Right.
There's not much to differentiate them. We've heard that from guys like Derek Piper, some national guys as well. So, regardless, he'd be a huge get for Illinois. Huge get for Illinois to get the top player in the state, the top kid from Chicago, and a guy who's going to probably make an immediate impact.
I said I had a couple thoughts about him. That was one of them, and then a texter sent that in, which we appreciate. The other thought was, what's interesting to me is that Brad Underwood is, and I have all the faith in the world in Chin Coleman and Antigua and Walker and Brad Underwood going out and recruiting, but it's almost a break in a little bit that Illinois is not exactly tearing it up with regards to high school kids right now, because this coaching staff is still making inroads with regards to all these coaches. Now, Chin Coleman's the difference there.
Yeah.
And he's the key in Chicago, but I like the fact that once Underwood gets kind of settled in after a year or two, maybe that's when the state talent starts to rise again. Maybe that will help.
2020
Illinois.
seems like it could be a really good year. 2019, obviously, you got Francis Okoro, EJ Liddell, but not very deep.
Okay.
2020, you seem to have guys at the top in Adam Miller and DJ Stewart who could be really special.
And it really puts the pressure on you when you don't have a deep class to make sure that you do get one or two of those good ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to get one of the two good ones every year, but if you've got 6 to 10 good ones, then you understand. And I don't mean Jordan Goodwin, but what's it, Jordan?
Yeah.
I don't even care about his name anymore, right?
You forgot his name already?
Right, but now that you only have a couple of good ones, you have to get that.
Yeah.
So that puts a lot of pressure on you.
E.J. Liddell is a very important one. That's going to be an Illinois-Missouri battle, seems like.
Okay.
That's a kid you want to get in state. And then those 2020 kids will be interesting. But what I also like is a guy like Colin Castleton.
Mm-hmm.
They found him, prioritized him. They seem to be in a good spot with him. They're getting the first official visit. You got to recruit elsewhere.
Yes, you do.
You can't just rely on Chicago. We've talked about that the entire time. It's been nice that downstate's produced some talent like a Mark Smith, like a DeMonte Williams.
Right.
You take advantage of that. They weren't able to get Goodwin. They ended up getting Mark Smith, which might be even better get.
No doubt.
But that's important to be able to recruit from other areas as well, like a Trent Frazier. Who could be very important for this program moving forward.
And by the way, most of our texters agreeing with you with regards to play the tougher schedule. Now, I want everybody to know.
Yeah.
Next year, moving forward, that's exactly what I want. But this year, I
just think we overthink it.
Yeah, we do.
I think we overthink schedule so much when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, because you don't know if Austin Peay might end up winning the OVC and being a tournament team. And then you look back going, well, that wasn't a bad win. They're a tournament team.
And the one thing I do like about this schedule, that December 1st game is weird. It's also a Friday night.
That's cool.
And it's in the Chicago area.
That helps Illinois.
I think that's going to be a cool atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's going to be a cool weekend event.
Yep.
December 1st. NFL season, the Bears won't be very good.
Right.
They'll be out of it. We'll be talking about draft pick at that point. The Cubs season will be over, even if they won the World Series again. The Bulls are going to be terrible. That'll be a nice little event.
It will be.
Right?
And both teams will be coming in with wins.
It'll feel like the United Center game.
Yes, it will.
Because New Mexico State are not going to give us much of a game.
No.
I don't think that's going to be a great attendance. I think this will be a better kind of atmosphere.
And for fans around here that want to go to that, you'll be able to go up on a Friday night. You're not worried about having to get back to work the next day. Of course, unless you work that random Saturday. But I agree. That will be a neat atmosphere. And the Big Ten doing that this year, playing some Friday night games.
Yeah. There's another one they play, I believe it's Wisconsin.
That
on a
is
Friday night at home.
Do you know every year when we do our Big Ten fantasy draft, we always do that around Christmas because everybody's home. Oh yeah. We've already said now we're going to do it around Thanksgiving. Like we've got to meet before December 1st and do our draft.
We're going to have to get the early take from Sean Harrington.
No doubt. In fact, we even talked about as a crew, do we throw out the first two games?
You know what? We should get Sean on the show tomorrow.
That'd be great.
We can talk about this, but when we talk about guests, Sean is one of my favorites.
No doubt.
So we need to get Sean on.
That's a great point. Look at that. Just thinking as we go along here. And we're having Clabe's segments right now.
Illinois Athletic Director Josh Whitman in studio at 5 o'clock. We'll ask him a little bit.
Okay.
I want to ask him about the Madison Square Garden, what he really thinks about that. So we'll see if he gives the political answer or he gives the honest answer.
We'll jump him if he gives the political answer.
Joey Votto. Is he a Hall of Famer? I got some more of the current active players who are kind of debates right now.
And Jeremy's got a tough Hall of Fame list. I mean, you got to be really good.
Run. Yeah, oh yeah.
You got to be really good to get into a Hall of Fame if you're Jeremy. So I'm anxious to hear the stats because I love Joey Votto and have always enjoyed the fact that guy is on base 2 out of 4 times. It is the Tay and J Show.
Home is where the art is. It's where every day begins and ends. It's a place for big occasions and small. Home is where stories unfold and where they are told. We may leave, but we always come home again. First Financial Bank can help you achieve the home of your dreams. Talk with one of our friendly loan officers and we'll help you find the loan that's right for you. Consider it our way of saying welcome home. From First Financial Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday. at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington, in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Step up to fight heart disease at the Champaign County Heart Walk on Saturday morning, September 16th at Parkland College. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Opening ceremony at 9 a.m. with Presence Health, Consolidated Communications, Busey, and the U of I, supporting our Heart Walk to raise funds to fight America's #1 killer. With health screenings, the tribute wall, and a kids zone, you can participate in the quarter-mile or 1.5-mile walk by visiting ChampaignHeartWalk.org. Join in the fight against heart disease and stroke at Parkland, September 16th, starting at 9 a.m. Visit ChampaignHeartWalk.org.
You're always welcome home at the end of a busy day at Platinum Award-winning Comfort Suites on Lincoln Avenue in Urbana, rated #1 on TripAdvisor. All rooms are suite style with a sitting area and pull-out sofa. Enjoy their 24-hour indoor heated pool, spa, and fitness center, full hot breakfast buffet daily, and a complimentary light evening meal Monday through Wednesday. Comfort Suites also offers a group and airport shuttle, and they're pet-friendly. You'll always be welcomed at the end of your day at Platinum Award-winning Comfort Suites. Call 328-3500 to reserve your overnight stay today. 328-3500.
It's Lon Tay from ESPN 93.5, and whenever I need work done on my car, I go to Long's Garage. No, not Lon's Garage, Long's Garage in Urbana on Main Street, just east of Schnucks. From engines and brakes to new tires, you can get a variety of auto maintenance assistance from the experts at Long's Garage Complete Auto Service. And this summer, beat the heat and come into Long's Garage for an AC check. Since 1941, Long's Garage has offered expert repair services. Visit them today at 503 East Main Street in Urbana, just east of Schnucks.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days. Mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hail to the orange. Hail to the blue with Game Day Spirit Fan Store. Game Day is the exclusive retailer of this year's Hail to the Orange t-shirt. Don't miss out on getting yours. Find the exclusive Hail to the Orange t-shirt at any of the Game Day Spirit locations or order online at GameDaySpirit.com. Youth, adult, and extended sizes available in the BOGO section at Game Day Spirit. Located at 519 East Green Street in Campustown and now open at their new location at 1602 South Neal Street in Champaign. Game Day Spirit. Go Illini!
Sports update.
Hold on.
Oh,
I got something.
All right, let's bail him out.
I'll fill for
they're playing
the guy who's not being professional right now.
They're playing chess.
We're welcoming back returning and new incoming U of I students with our Prospect Bank Welcome Student Bags. Look for us Sunday, August 27th at Campustown to claim yours with offers from Game Day Spirit, Next Chapter Properties, and Nando Milano.
Nice.
Learn more about our Prospect Bank Welcome Bags, student bags, at ESPNCU.com. Are we ready? Are we ready in there?
I mean, yeah, me and Harry were in a big competition of chess going on.
That doesn't surprise me.
You are a huge nerd.
I'm not good, don't worry. Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with the 430 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think their car insurance costs more, but with discounts of 40%, you may find it even costs less. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood in Champaign, Illinois at 217-367-1105 today. Three-star power forward George Condit from Chicago has officially been offered by a Big Ten school, and that school is the University of Maryland. Illinois is interested in the 6'10 power forward. The Cardinals had quite a tough road in Boston so far. They lost last night 10-4. Bradley Jr., Sandy Leon, and Hanley Ramirez all had 2 RBIs. There was a triple play, though, when Yadier Molina hit a sharp ground ball to the third baseman Devers, and then he went around the horn to Nunez and Moreland. The two teams play again tonight. It's Lance Lynn versus Eduardo Rodriguez at 6:10 on ESPN CU 93.5. The Cubs scored 15 on Monday, but on Tuesday they could only score 1 run in the 2-1 loss to the Reds. The Cubs could not score the tying run in the 7th or 9th innings, including a bunt by Javi Baez in the 9th, moving 2 runners over down 2 runs. Cubs and Reds play Game 3 tonight, and the pitching matchup is Homer Bailey.
Did you really lose to the Reds?
Did you get triple played by the Red Sox? I mean, we could both play this game.
Did you really lose to the Reds? Yeah, that was a triple play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can move on. My bad. That was my bad.
All right. Tune in to US 105.9 for the 7:05 call. And the Dodgers, they're in 50 games over 500. They defeated the White Sox 6-1. Mokado was over 4.
Over
Tonight
500.
it's Carlos Rodon versus Yu Darvish. And that, my friends, is the Sports Center update.
Well done. Oh, wait. Do I need to talk now? I'm going to miss Austin's just staring at me sometimes with this really... I mean, he's the nicest person I think I've ever met in my life. But he can give you some wicked stares.
The Cardinals-Cubs thing is a nice touch. Don't worry, I'll poke the bear.
Okay. I was going to say, I'll be listening, and I'll be listening to the poke. I can't wait.
Everyone on Twitter calls me a Cardinals fan anyway, so...
Right. Hey, so it's the Tay and J Show, by the way. Lon Tay, Jeremy Werner. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. Jupiter's the Crossing phone line, Chief Bauer text line. Before we get into, what's his name? Joey Votto. I might call him Johnny Votto. Old Johnny Ballgame.
Johnny Votto.
Hi, Johnny. So these two are in here nerding out playing chess. Yeah. And I don't mean to say nerding out. I don't know how to play chess. And I've heard from so many people it's like one of the best games ever. And you said that you did this in high school, and you brought up the fact that you had a buddy that was really good at it.
Yeah.
And I looked at you and I said, have you ever been great at anything?
I think I've been good at things.
Yeah.
I was good at spelling bees in 4th grade. I won 4 of the first 5.
Wow.
So my teacher said I couldn't do it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
You seriously?
Jeremy, we need the other guys to win.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was really good.
The start of the participation trophy.
I peaked in my life probably.
Right around that 5th,
3rd through 5th grade. Like my athletic peak was there. I was an all-star in baseball.
I
was
love it.
Averaging like 15 points a game in basketball. And then everyone else got taller and I didn't. Everyone got more athletic and I didn't.
You were one of those kids that was athletic young.
I was pretty good at school.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was. I was pretty good at school.
I just started thinking to myself, I remember when I got to college, and I've told this story before, that there was a buddy of ours that was a really good looking dude, and you could just tell like he figured things out. And one day, Rick Shipley and I were out playing catch, and I'm like, hey, you want to play catch with us? And he's like, yeah, let me throw one. And he threw it like 5 feet. And I was like, are you okay? And he's like, oh, that was bad. So he gets it back and he throws it like 6 feet. And I'm like, dude, do you really not know how to throw a baseball? So I was always one of those guys that no matter, like I didn't play football in high school, but if you got me out here throwing the football, you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't be like, whoa, Lon's never thrown a football. But I've never been great at anything. And it's really getting me down right now.
You're really good at talking.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
You are elite at talking.
Okay. There you go then. I appreciate that. You just boosted my confidence.
Boosted you up a little bit.
Because there's nothing else I'm great at.
There's one thing you are great at. It's made you some good money in your life.
That's true.
Ron.
That's a great point.
You're good at people.
Boom.
Like
that's true.
You're good peopling.
Okay.
Right?
Wow, this is a nice. I like this. Like building myself up right now.
You
I like
are not
that.
good at lists.
No. Oh no. Do you have one?
Speaking of.
Oh no. Oh no.
He's got a list. Jeremy has got
These are not fair.
list. He's got a list. Jeremy has got a list. Cause we love to go through lists just to mess with the lawn.
All right. So Giancarlo Stanton has hit, 11 homers in 12 games? He's on pace to hit more than 50 home runs. And Austin and I went on that yesterday. Austin, join in on this list because this one's really, really difficult.
Are you ready, Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. No chess this time.
All right. There have been 11 players who have hit more than 60 home runs the last 2 years combined.
Oh.
So the last 2 seasons combined, there are 11 players who have hit more than 60 home runs.
That is interesting.
Name them.
Chris Davis.
Which one?
The one with from the Orioles.
The Orioles.
No.
Chris Davis. Really?
The Athletics, then.
Yes, Chris with a K.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
On the list. 75 home runs. He leads baseball the last 2 seasons with 75 home runs.
Stanton.
Giancarlo Stanton, not on that list.
Why am I?
Because he was hurt most of last year.
Why am I like?
So this is 60 home runs
Mike
total.
Trout.
Then?
Yeah.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, not on that list.
Wow.
Maybe I need to break down the at bats a little bit.
Okay. How about any of the Colorado Rockies?
Stanton's got to be up there.
You would think, right?
Hold on.
We're going to look at this while they're talking in there.
All right, so Chris Davis has 75 home runs. Stanton is on that list, 71. I had to give the minimum plate appearances a little higher. He's got 71. So Stanton and Chris Davis you have so far.
Adrian Beltre.
Not on the list.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't hit a lot. Any of the Rockies? Arenado.
Nolan Arenado is 5th with 68 home runs.
Nelson Cruz,
number 2, 72
KB.
home runs.
I was going to say Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant, 9 with 61 home runs. There actually are 12 guys with 60 or more.
Rizzo
is just outside the list. He has 59.
Loser. Let's see.
The top of this list is a little more difficult.
I'm trying to think of. I'm going through my teams here.
Gary Sanchez.
Not on the list.
How about?
Because he's got like 40 something.
Okay. Oh man, I'm trying to think of Yankees.
This guy's last name rhymes with a Disney headline character. He's got his own ride.
Oh, Trumbo.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
How good of a clue is that? Come on.
That was great.
Mark Trumbo, 65 home runs. He's number 7.
Goldschmidt?
Goldschmidt, not.
Wow.
On this list.
How about
Ryan Braun?
Ryan Braun, not on the list.
He was injured last year.
All right, 2 of these players now play for the same team and have changed teams the last year. Now they play on the same team just recently.
Man, this is hard.
A team that did really well in the playoffs last year.
The Indians?
Yes.
Oh, Edwin Encarnacion.
69 home runs. He has 4. No, they now play on the same team.
Okay.
So Edwin Encarnacion's current team.
So who else with the Indians hit?
Kipnis?
No.
Ooh.
This guy just changed teams.
Kadire?
They just traded for him.
Jay Bruce. Yeah,
Jay
good
Bruce
call.
is correct. 8. He's got 62.
So we still don't have number 1?
You got Chris Davis with a K. Joey Votto on that list was 60. Manny Machado has 60. Adam Duvall of the Reds
would not have gotten that.
Has 60. And a second baseman, Lon, is on this list.
The second baseman
with 65 home runs over the last 2 years. Most of those came last year.
Mark Lemke.
He set the single season record, I believe, for second baseman.
The kid for Seattle, Cano?
No.
Brian Dozier, Trevor said.
Brian Dozier
from the Twins. Good call.
I mean, think of that list. There's no Trout.
No.
There's no Rizzo. There's no Chris Davis, Josh Donaldson.
There's no
Bryce Harper. No Goldschmidt.
Wow.
It's Chris Davis with a K.
Yeah.
Nelson Cruz, Giancarlo Stanton, Edwin Encarnacion, Nolan Arenado, Brian Dozier, Mark Trumbo, Jay Bruce, Chris Bryant, Joey Votto, Manny Machado, Adam Duvall.
Stuff. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I saw that yesterday, that Chris Davis with a K has hit the most home runs the last 2 seasons.
That is unreal. I mean, to go through that's unreal. Thank you, Austin. Appreciate your help on that.
All right, when we come back.
Is this Joey?
Is Joey Votto a Hall of Famer? And we'll go through some of the other active players who are up for debate.
That dude even hits for power, as we just discovered. It is the Tay and J Show.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
The Dodgers win because they're the Dodgers and that's what they do. Dodgers reaching 50 games over 500. They're 84-34. First team to reach that mark at any point of the season since the 04 Cardinals. So they're on a great pace right now. They've also, in the number 50, they have 50 home wins. The fewest home games to win 50 games still goes to the 98 Yankees with 62 games, the 75 Reds, the 63 games, those two teams have in common. And then it's the Dodgers and the Red Sox and the Phillies of the 78 and 77 to do it in 64 games. So they are on fire. Yu Darvish, takes the mound again. He's had 2 starts with him, and he's gone 10 more plus strikeouts in both starts. Oh, by the way, in his 22 starts with the Rangers, he had 4 games of 10 plus strikeouts. He's trying to go 3 for 3 here with the Dodgers.
Hear more from Mike and Mike tomorrow morning on ESPN Radio.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders from KFC here with some real news. My delicious, world-famous original recipe fried chicken is available at a KFC near you. It has been and will be until the end of time. No matter what's happening in the world, you can trust that my original recipe chicken is always made with 11 herbs and spices. Many unnamed sources agree. It's delicious. Get it in a KFC $10 chicken share and enjoy it with a friend. KFC, it's still finger-licking good. Limited time offer at participating KFCs. Prices may vary. Tax and substitutions extra.
Guys, get to JCPenney today for Levi's lowest prices of the season. Like Levi's 514 straight fit for $39.99 and 511 slim fit for $41.99. Or save an extra 15% with coupon on deals like select Henley shirts from the Foundry Big and Tall Supply Company for just $9.99. Find even more Big and Tall styles at jcp.com. Hurry, and Sunday. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. Coupon valid 8/17, 8/20 on select items in store and at jcp.com. Levi's and some other brands excluded from coupon. Season refers to the time period from 8/13 to 9/4. See store at jcp.com for details.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Need an oil change? See your Champagne CarX man. Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get a full-service oil change starting at $24.99 with tire rotation and brake inspection. From oil changes to engine repair and everything in between, CarX Tire and Auto has been serving Champaign for almost 40 years with 3 convenient locations. Your Champagne CarX man has the right oil for your vehicle at a great price, $24.99. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Devin Watkins, Deputy Champaign County Sheriff's Department. Just does a great job, and we appreciate all that she does. So when you get home after your shift and your 2 black labs see you, they are so jacked.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do they calm down to go to bed because it's too late to go running?
I think they've got it down now. As soon as I sit down, they jump in my lap and they're ready to lay down with me.
And then you can run the next day.
Yep.
And they run pretty well with you then.
They do. They love it.
You need to have rollerblades when you start because the dogs bolt on you.
That's what everybody tells me.
It'd be dangerous, so have to wear a helmet. Well, listen, I'm thankful that you do what you do. Thank you because, again, you're serving, you're protecting, you're helping our county be better. And there are people like you that make it really, really good for us here. And I appreciate what you're doing.
It's my pleasure. Well, I really enjoy the career, so it's definitely my pleasure.
Well, stay safe out there.
Thank you.
You're a Law Enforcement Official of the Month, brought to you by F.E. Moran Security Solutions.
Bunny's Tavern is your home for the 2017 Chicago Cubs. Nothing beats watching baseball over an ice-cold beer, so enjoy $14 mix-and-match domestic buckets and $6 PBR pitchers 7 days a week. You'll catch every minute of Cubs action on Bunny's 10 big-screen TVs, whether you're inside or enjoying the largest patio in Urbana. With delicious daily lunch and dinner specials, come check out what people in Champaign-Urbana have been whispering about for over 80 years. Bunny's Tavern in downtown Urbana, your home for the 2017 Chicago Cubs.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy Warner. And starting on Monday, August 21st, tune in weekdays from 9 to 11 a.m. for the Jeremy Warner Show only on ESPN 93.5 and streaming worldwide on the WSJK app and at ESPNCU.com.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner. We're off early for Cardinals baseball. Lance Lynn against Eduardo Rodriguez of the Red Sox. They finish a 2-game set at Fenway Park.
All right, so Joey Votto playing the Cubs right now. He just tied a long-standing record by Joe DiMaggio, where DiMaggio got on base twice in 21 straight games.
That's crazy.
Votto just matched that. He had 3 walks.
Unreal.
Last night, 0 for 2 with 3 walks. He has had an unbelievable career, and I think it always gets overlooked because, especially the last 4 or 5 years, he's played for a bad team.
Yes.
A bad franchise. But he has a wins above replacement for his career of 51.6. He's actually in the best 3-year stretch of his career. 301 career average, 432 on base, 534 slugging. That includes how many home runs? 252 home runs. And he also has 1,538 hits. He's just 33 years old right now.
Right.
Turns 34, I believe, this month or next month. So he's still got some time, where, especially with his hit tool, where he can up those numbers, the counting numbers as well. But Joey Votto getting to that point where, for me, he's getting really close to being a Hall of Famer. Also has an MVP.
Yep.
To his credit, has a couple, I think, pretty top 10 finishes in the MVP.
They played
in
the postseason, twice?
Yeah.
At least once, maybe twice. There's no doubt. And Joey Votto's not slowing down either.
Yeah, Votto finished second rookie of the year. He finished 6th in MVP in 2011, the year after he won it. 14th the next year, 6th in 2013, 3rd in 2015, 7th in 2016.
He's my favorite kind of player. He's not phenomenal. My favorite player, but he's my favorite kind of player. And it's not necessarily the guy that hits home runs nonstop, though he still does that.
He'll likely finish his career with about 400, right?
About 400, which is amazing, but he just gets on base. I said, is he kind of the modern day Tony Gwynn?
He's led the MLB in walks 5 years of the past 7.
Wow. And when I say Tony Gwynn, I just mean hits. I mean, I know Tony didn't hit for power.
From 2009 to 2017, he had an OBP above 416 all but 1 year.
That's crazy. He's just a hell of a player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just one of those guys, and it's too bad that he's sitting there rotting away basically in Cincinnati, but
making $25 million.
He signed a big contract. There's no doubt.
If Joey Votto does this for 3 or 4 more years, I think he's a no-brainer.
Without a doubt. I'm putting him in.
Okay, so there's the obvious guys who, for me, are definitely Hall of Famers. Ichiro.
Yep.
Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Albert Pujols, Hall of Famer. I think Adrian Beltre's hit that mark.
I do too.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yep.
Hall of Famer. Mike Trout to me.
Yes.
Already. Career ends today, Hall of Famer.
Kershaw.
Austin and I were looking it up. There are the active players in wins above replacement for hitters. He's 9th right now. He's 25 years old.
Mike Trout is?
Yes, he's 25 years old. He's 9th among active players in wins above replacement. The next guy in his 20s is Goldschmidt at 29.
Unbelievable.
So to me, Trout already a Hall of Famer. Kershaw to me already a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
How about Scherzer? 2 Cy Youngs.
Yeah, he does have 2, doesn't he?
He's been dominant for 6-7 years.
Yeah, I would put him in.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
And again, he's not going anywhere.
Buster Posey.
Yes, Buster Posey is.
Robinson Cano.
But if you say Buster is, does that mean Yachty is?
Buster's a better hitter.
He's a better hitter. There's no doubt.
More rings.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's got 3.
He's got 3 to 2. Yachty,
it's just
I think.
His hit tool's better.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He's won an MVP.
I feel like those two are so comparable.
I don't mind if somebody puts Yachty in.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I don't mind if somebody puts Yachty in. I'm probably not at this point.
Okay. And you would go Posey for sure?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, and I'm not even going to argue that.
I think the hit tool is better.
Right. Without a doubt, he always has.
No, I'd have to dive into that more. Yachty's a tough case.
Yeah.
Because it's the catcher position.
Right.
And he's much more valuable than a guy with just normal hitting stats, right? So I take that into account. For me, Yachty's really tough.
Yes. And Yachty, like Ozzie Smith, has made himself into a good hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made himself into
it's
a 300.
Like he's a bad hitter. Yeah.
No, not at all. But definitely Buster Posey has always produced more offensively.
Carlos Beltran, are we putting him definitely in?
Yes, I am.
I think we are.
I love that guy.
All right, so here are the current players.
Okay.
Are they Hall of Famers already? Or are they there in a year or two?
Okay.
Bryce Harper. 5-time All-Star, 1-time MVP.
My goodness.
Having a huge year, though. He just got
so
hurt.
young.
24 years old.
I need to, I mean, he's going to do it, but I need to see it a couple more years, but yes.
If Chris Sale's career ended right now, is he a Hall of Famer?
Boy, that is an interesting one. His career strikeout to walk ratio it would have to be just. I don't think he
if
is
Sale
right now.
has
I don't
two
think
more years left.
Yes.
I think winning the Cy Young, he will.
Yes.
He has the case for winning the MVP, too.
Yeah, I think if it ended now, no, but yes. If
Maybe
he
after
does,
this year and he wins the World Series.
Yeah,
probably.
right.
Jose Altuve. Not quite yet.
No, but I love that kid.
1,194 hits at age 27.
1194.
Yeah.
So that's a guy that has a legit
221
shot.
steals, too.
Mm.
Madison Bumgarner. For me, yes, it's the Jack Morris thing, only he's a better regular season pitcher.
Without a doubt.
He's the best postseason pitcher of all time, and I do think that means something.
Yeah, I do too. Right? Jack Morris was a good pitcher even in the regular season, but you're right. Madison Bumgarner's better.
Yeah.
He's been a better regular season pitcher.
Yadi Molina. Lonzo, yes, I know that.
Yeah, I'm going yes on that.
I don't blame it.
But then again, he's one of those where you've seen the value of him every day, in my eyes.
Justin Verlander. He's 34 years old, MVP 1 year, Cy Young Award, 179 wins. He continues to be a good pitcher. He's probably going to hit 225 wins and go over 3,000 strikeouts.
Then yes.
I think Verlander's a Hall of Famer. Ian Kinsler.
Is that really? Is this
55
a battle?
wins above replacement in his career,
really?
which is top 8 among active hitters.
Is this going to change the Hall of Fame vote?
Wins above replacement. I think it gives us a better idea of defenders.
Yeah.
Chase Utley, 65 wins above replacement.
Chase Utley has had an incredible career.
I mean, now he's old, so we kind of have that in our
Incredible
heads.
career.
But from
Right.
2007 to 2013 or whatever it was,
Who was the other? He and
him and Cano were the best second.
who was the Jimmy
Jimmy
Rollins?
Rollins.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's not active anymore.
Brandon Phillips?
Not a Hall of Famer.
No. Chase Utley would be a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah.
He's played for so long and always at a high level, and normally the team he is on won.
That one's tough for me.
That is tough. But he's a second baseman.
I have gotten softer.
A little bit.
I've gotten softer because a guy like Carlos Beltran, I used to say, if I have to think about it, you're not in.
Right.
For me now, it's like, well, I don't mind if great players still get in.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But, yeah, Utley, I don't know why I have trouble with. Because, I mean, he's right. I mean, him and Beltran, when you go by wins above replacement, are similar.
They're right in the same boat. They've just played for so long. Yeah. And I think you take something into the fact of
CC Sabathia.
The teams they played on are normally good. I know Utley was on some bad Phillies teams late.
Some great ones, though.
But he's always been on teams that are good.
How about CC Sabathia? 232 career wins,
That's
60
pretty
wins
impressive.
above replacement.
Yes. Yeah.
He's the active strikeout leader.
Is he the closest to 300 wins?
Him and Cologne, right?
Oh, that's right. And CC is how
Bartolo might get there if he keeps pitching. So.
That'd be awesome.
John Lester.
He's like 480 pounds by the time
How
he wins.
about John Lester? 3 World Series.
Yeah. John Lackey. How about him?
No.
Is Lester's numbers that much better than Lackey in terms of career? Are they?
I mean, when you put Lackey's played a lot more years, but 2,000 strikeouts, 2.63 ERA, and 22 playoff games for Lester.
Wow, that's Lester's. Yeah. Then yes, that's interesting. Those are some. I tell you what, the Hall of Fame. And it'll be interesting to see with these new sabermetrics, how that comes into play
it's
now.
Huge for Tim Raines, right?
Right, exactly.
Huge for Tim Raines.
And how it will help maybe a guy that in the past would not have made it. It'll be interesting to see.
Sorry, I said Votto broke the record. He's got 20 straight. He goes for the record tonight.
Goes for it
Thank
tonight.
you for the correction.
Hey, give me something to keep an eye out for. Joey Bats. No, wait. That's not. That's Jose Bautista, right? Is Joe Bats or something? All right, Josh Whitman, Illinois Athletic Director, any moment is going to walk through this door, and we are going to nail him with the hardest questions he's ever been asked. Maybe not, but we are going to talk to Josh Whitman next. It is the Tay and J Show. the original Calzone Company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original Calzone Company.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Hi, I'm Dan Moyson, owner of Simplified Computers. Whenever we get sick, we see the doctor. So what do you do when your computer is under the weather? Malware, spyware, viruses, whatever the ailment, Simplified Computers has seen it. For over 20 years, we've been fixing issues others can't. For both residential and commercial customers in the Champaign-Urbana area, call Simplified Computers at 352-5000. That's 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
At the Home Depot, free carpet installation means free carpet installation. And free includes clearing out furniture, ripping out old carpet, hauling it away, even carpeting stairs, with no hidden fees. Free installation on carpet $699 or more means free installation. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid on carpet priced $1 or more per square foot. Specialty items may be priced separately.
When smart businesses need to grow their team, they do it on the site proven to deliver, Indeed.com. According to an independent study, Indeed delivers 5 times more hires than any other job site, more hires than the rest combined. And right now we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing and relevant search results. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Delicious food, cold brews, great music and art, Kids Zone, and more. Join us along with the Champaign Park District for the Taste of Champaign-Urbana happening this Friday and Saturday in Westside Park, Champaign. Try something new. Get a sample of local favorites as you explore exciting food vendors. Hear free live music featuring Rock Country Act, Murphy 500, and the danceable Sun Stereo. The Taste of Champaign-Urbana has something for everyone, so come to Westside Park this Friday and Saturday and be ready to eat. Get more details online now at champaignparks.com. That's champaignparks.com.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
All right, it's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner, again off early today. Cardinals and Red Sox. Cardinals did not look good last night at Fenway, so they'll try to even up that series. Lance Lynn on the hill against Eduardo Rodriguez.
Right now, he said he'd join us in studio, and
he made good on it.
He's making good on it. Josh Whitman, Illinois Athletic Director. Thanks for joining us, Josh.
That was good to see you.
Thank you. You're so busy that we really honestly appreciate you coming by.
Happy trails. Appreciate all that you guys have done. I hated to hear the news, but excited certainly and grateful to know that there'll be more local sports coverage on the station here. So that's good for us.
I always wonder, in a guy like your position, how much media do you consume? Like, what is your kind of media intake on a day? Because you kind of want to know what people are talking about, but you don't want to be ruled by it, right? I mean,
that's right. I'll in the morning I'll do a lot of reading when I start the day just to make sure I know what's going on. There's a few what we call clip services that assemble different pieces of media that happened from the day before or overnight, and so I'll digest most of that in the morning, often before I even get into the office. Then you check social media a couple times a day.
But our staff does a great job of monitoring that stuff. And if there's something that pops that I really need to know about, they're going to bring it to my attention. And I appreciate that. It does. It keeps me from having to have it just sort of drive everything that we do. And so that's it's good. It's good.
Is it pretty much every day? Listen, Jeremy was talking about this, and then you don't want to know what Lon was talking about. Is that kind of what it was?
Anymore, I've just said, look, if it's a Tay and J thing, I get it. They're a little off the deal. Like, let's just
let it roll.
That's right.
Just
That's
let
right.
it roll.
That's right.
Hey, how much now what are you, a year? How far are we into this job?
Almost, maybe 19 months now? Almost well over a year and a half.
They say you can't replace experience. Is it amazing just starting the second year how much you've learned compared to what you did when you walked into it? And I know you obviously had experience in the past, but here at Illinois, is it just amazing how much you feel like you've just learned and understand now?
You do. You grow and develop, and I think that will continue. I don't know that changes the fact that I'm heading into my second year, but there is a level of comfort and familiarity that comes with doing something the second time. And last year, my wife and I were sitting around talking the other day, and we were heading into the fall, and we didn't know where to park for a football game. We didn't know how tickets worked. We didn't, she was at that point 8 or 9 months pregnant.
Wow.
We'd only been in our house for a couple of months. And so it is amazing what a difference a year makes, both personally and professionally, and a lot more comfort and familiarity as we head into the season this year for sure.
When did you feel like I'm the Illinois athletic director?
That's a good question.
Like, when did it feel like I am that? Like, did you feel like you're playing a role for a little while, or?
Yeah, and I think there are always probably going to be some of those moments, and because it is, in some ways, it's a bit of a surreal position, and I think, and I hope I never lose that. I never want to take for granted the opportunity that I have, and I think in some ways, obviously, the first day in the office was a pretty big day for me, and the first 3 days were pretty big. And so you have to get in that situation. You had to settle in a hurry, and at least in certain respects. But there will always be pieces about this that are just a little bit weird, and you have to just kind of accept it. That the fact that, talking about social media, I've gone from whatever it was, 800 Twitter followers to 26,000 is weird to me.
I used to have more Twitter followers than no, I'm kidding.
That every time I get on a private airplane, every time I take the elevator up to a suite level, there's just things about it that are really cool. And those are the parts of the job that I think most people see and think are really cool, and they are. But there's obviously a lot more that happens behind the scenes that people never see that is also very cool, but in a lot of ways much more challenging.
I mean, there's always criticism, or there's always people, not criticism for you so far, but there's always people thinking,
probably.
This is what I would do. Like, this is what I would do. Like, we always want to be GM of our baseball team, right?
Yep.
Was there a moment, like, when you're meeting with Underwood or you're meeting with Lovey, where like, this is as cool as I thought it would be?
like I get to do this.
It is. I mean, it's a great job, and everybody should be as fortunate as I am to have a position that they're so passionate and energized about. It's a great job, and there are really hard days, and really challenging decisions, and but that doesn't do anything to detract from the fact that it's great. It makes it that much greater. Actually, I feel privileged to be in a position to make some of those hard decisions and to confront some of those challenges. Right. And it, I tell people that my worst day as the athletic director is better than my best day as a lawyer. I mean, it's just, for me, cool. That's true.
Yeah. Very cool.
And so you never want to take it for granted. And that was one of the things I told our staff when I took the position was, let's never take for granted the opportunity we have to come in here every day and represent this university and this athletic program. And because it's human nature, right? We all, once we get comfortable, it happened with me as a player when I would come into the stadium, and the first day I ever saw the stadium, I caught my breath. I couldn't believe how majestic it was and how incredible. And then when you practice in the shadow of it every single day, and you get tired and you get sore and it's cold and windy, and you start to take it for granted, and it's like, it's still the same incredible stadium it was when you showed up here however many years ago. And So I challenge our people to do that, and I challenge myself to do that.
Josh Whitman is our guest in studio. We're going to finish out the show with Josh. We appreciate his time. When you were a player at Illinois, how much did you focus on other sports? Now, let's be honest, we're all in college at one point, and we have other things going on. How much did you focus in on that? And now as athletic director, I know it's not difficult. That's not the right word, but I'm sure for you it's easy to look at the Illinois football program and understand it completely. How much goes into understanding wrestling and volleyball and all of that? I mean, I'm sure that's a little bit of a challenge at first.
As a student athlete, I think and that's one of the I don't want to call it a regret, but something that I could have done better as a student athlete. I think that you get so caught up in your own deal that it's easy to not pay as much attention as you should or enjoy as much as you should going to a volleyball match, going to a soccer game, checking out baseball in the spring. And so that's something that we really encourage now our student athletes to do, in part because of my own experiences. I really want them to have that full experience and to get out and see what some of the other student athletes are doing and try and really foster this sense of community amongst our 500 student athletes. So that's been a priority for us and will continue to be so. From my perspective now, I enjoy that part of it, and I don't pretend to be an expert in every sport. I learned that early on. That's not a good recipe for success to act like you know things that you don't, and so I never pretend to act like I'm an expert in swimming or tennis.
Right.
But it's been fun to learn about those sports and to have a chance to sit and watch and visit with the athletes and the coaches and again at least gain some level of fluency in the rules and how they work and I think our athletes enjoy seeing me around.
Yeah.
This weekend, I visited with our soccer team, watched some of their practice on Sunday morning, and was with volleyball at different points during that day. And so that's fun. I look around the calendar and try and find opportunities to get out on the road when I can. I think that's a great chance to spend time with the coaches and athletes away from campus.
Sure.
And a little bit more of a fixed environment. And so I try and get out the best I can with my schedule and join them, and it's great.
I bet.
It's a lot of fun.
You do know football. You do know football, and you went through a big rebuild under Ron Turner, an NFL guy, and you hire Lovie Smith kind of with a thought of let's do what Ron Turner did and then continue to have that consistency that he wasn't able to hold on to. So when you're out at practice, and what I've called year one, you've said that as well, I mean, with his first recruiting class, what are you looking for? Like what do you want to see when you're out there at practice and they're on the field this year?
I think it's not that much different than what the things other people want to see. I want to see great intensity. I want to see them start to minimize what I would call unforced errors, misalignments, missed assignments, stupid penalties. Penalties are going to happen. You're going to get a holding. You're going to get a false start. But we've got too many people on the field. You've got too many people in the huddle. You don't align right, so you get an ineligible receiver downfield. Those are things that are avoidable, and I think that over time those start to diminish, and that's important. So you want, and I guess another way of saying it is a more disciplined football team. That we're going out there and doing the right things. We're not shooting ourselves in the foot, but giving ourselves a chance to be successful. Certainly the physicality piece is important. I like to see guys celebrate, enjoy each other, enjoy the game. You don't want a bunch of robots out there walking around. You want them to be in the moment and really enjoy the successes that either they're having or their teammates are having, and ultimately just have a level of toughness to what we're doing, and you can see it happening. It really is exciting to watch, and but you have to pay pretty close attention, because football practice for kind of the uninitiated is not the most exciting couple hours you might spend. There's a lot of standing around, it looks like,
right,
and the drills can be a little confusing, and you don't know exactly what they're trying to accomplish, and but they're making a lot of progress, and it's an interesting time, because right now if it's the right play, they snap the ball to the freshman quarterback, who hands it to a freshman running back, who runs between the freshman guard and the freshman tackle, and sheds the freshman defensive lineman, and then stiff arms the freshman linebacker and runs away from the freshman safety. I mean, it's a pretty young group, but a pretty talented group, and we've got a nice, I think, group of young but developing leaders in people like Chase and Mikey and Allegretti and some of these other guys who are coming back. And so it's a good mix, and I think bodes very well for our future.
I mean, this is going to be a long process. I mean, you've said that before. Some people want to say, oh, how big is this here for Lovie Smith?
Right.
I mean, you are committed to this thing. So what is your, I mean, you don't want to quantify it, but what is your measure of success this season?
It's the same question I've always asked, which is, are we doing the things that are necessary to build a championship program? And some of those things may manifest themselves in wins and losses. A lot of those things won't, and that's okay. But again, it's a cultural shift. It's a toughness shift. It's an execution shift. And because what happened even last year, as you looked at the team, if you just looked at the final scores, it was easy to get discouraged. But if you sat there and watched every snap, made every road trip, here's a team that was in the game at Nebraska in the fourth quarter. That we had that whatever it was 3rd and 25 or something. We get a horse collar tackle, they get a first down, they go on to a 12-play drive, they score. We've got the Purdue game in overtime. There's a handful of games that very easily could have gone a different direction, and all of a sudden it looks like a very different team. In football, the more I'm around it's that kind of a game. There's 150 snaps in a game, and it's going to come down to 5 or 6 of them to determine the outcome in most games. And hopefully we're just getting to a point where we can get more of those 5 or 6 to go our way.
You're in good shape, but when you look at a guy like Larry Boyd, are you just excited that you don't play football anymore?
The physics of football just keep getting bigger and faster.
It's unreal.
It is unreal to see him and Palcho, the other freshman guard. I mean, they're grown men and they're 17, 18, 19 years old. It's a continually evolving game.
Were you ready as a freshman? Could you have played?
I did play as a freshman.
Oh, you did.
I did.
That's right.
And it was I was not ready.
Okay,
I was not ready, and I remember getting tossed around pretty good. Especially our Big Ten opener, we played up at Iowa, and I just got abused. It was embarrassing, and they called me in the next week and said, "Look, if you're going to continue to play like that, we can't put you out there."
Wow.
And the next game was a home game against Penn State, who had unbelievable talent. Courtney Brown was the defensive end, and LeVar Arrington was a linebacker, and I mean they had some exceptional players, and I stepped up and played one of the better games of that year at least, and fortunately earned the opportunity to stay in there, and so but it's a change, and we had a freshman offensive lineman who played a lot that year, a guy named Ray Radziniak,
right,
started I think 7 or 8 games for us that year as a freshman, didn't start the season. But by the end of the year was our starting offensive guard, and went on to have a really nice career for us. And so it has happened, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to do.
Josh, I'd never tried to doubt Jim Delaney because of everything he's done for the Big Ten.
No doubt.
Today we get the basketball schedule, and the Big Ten starts Friday, December 1st at Rosemont to play Northwestern, and then there's a month off after Maryland comes here. But the Big Ten tournament is in New York City, Madison Square Garden. I know the company line it's a great opportunity, TV market. You're a Big Ten guy. What do you think of it being in New York City?
Not to be the company guy, but I think it's an exceptional opportunity for us to play in arguably the world's greatest arena. I think is a special moment for the Big Ten, and I commend Jim because this expansion thing isn't just in name only, right? We, as he said many times, we're not going to just have schools there. We're going to live there. We need to have a presence there,
right.
And so, if we're going to take the tournament out to D.C. and New York, it's not going to happen every year. In my mind, it's a little bit like the Friday night football thing. We're not going to do it every game, but if we want to go out there once every 6 years or so and make sure we have that relationship and that presence, give our student athletes that opportunity, I think it's good. Now, this year it was challenging. Obviously, it meant we had to move the tournament up a week.
Right.
And then we've had a few other circumstances that have influenced the schedule. Obviously, Northwestern losing their home venue, Minnesota's hosting the Super Bowl. Those are things that really serve to complicate the schedule. We made an effort to not schedule basketball games between the holidays for the first time in a while, and so there were all sorts of constraints that we put on the scheduling folks. And they went through, as I understand it, hundreds of iterations to try and get this schedule, and it's but far and away the most complicated schedule we've ever had. In addition to now, all of a sudden you have multiple media partners who all have a stake in this, and they're saying, I want this game, I want that game. So it's not
that
a perfect
process is fascinating.
Oh, it's incredible.
It would be.
And it's not a perfect schedule for us. It's not a perfect schedule for anybody. And I think we tried to spread that pain, if you will, out equally and make sure everybody felt equally uncomfortable with where we ended up. And it's going to be a competitive schedule and a great season. And so we're excited about it. We're excited to get started. But I do think this will be a little bit unusual. We'll be back in Chicago next year for the Big Ten tournament, and then we'll get back kind of on our normal rotation.
How much communication do you have with Jim Delaney? How much communication does an athlete, Josh Whitman, by the way, our guest, how much communication does he rely on you guys as athletic directors to say, hey, this is a thought, what do you think? Or is it pretty much, this is what we're doing, so what do you think?
No, Jim's a great leader, and obviously he's one of the more, I think, visionary figures in college athletics, certainly in the last 50 years.
No doubt.
But Jim is also an excellent consensus builder, and so he does a wonderful job of reaching out to people, having conversations, whether it's individually or collectively. We get together as a group, as the athletic directors, probably on average, I'd say every other month. And so we're together.
You're four-legged Brent. Hey, sorry. Sorry about that.
We're together 5 or 6 times a year at least, and then we have opportunities to have conference calls even more regularly than that. Okay. So we're together as frequently as he needs us to be.
Okay.
And then he's really good about reaching out to us on an individual basis where he needs to get that kind of input as well. And he's very available to us. I mean, I could text him or call him. He would answer the phone. I mean, he's committed to being sure that he's a resource for all of us as well.
We haven't talked to you on this show about the hockey. Looking into hockey.
The hockey.
We talked about that so much here on this show.
We did.
I mean, we asked your predecessor about it, and he loved the idea, but he said, where's the money coming from? Is this still so early in the process, or is there anything new there where this could be an actual possibility?
It can be an actual possibility. I don't want to waste our time. And so if we felt that this was a zero possibility proposition, we wouldn't go through the effort of trying to explore it. And certainly doing it in such a public way is not something that I traditionally get excited about. But we felt like the opportunity to partner with the NHL, the Blackhawks, the visibility that would provide to the effort outweighed potentially the risks of not being able to get the money that we need. The study will come back whenever the study comes back. It will say, I suspect, what we already know, which is that hockey will be very successful here. Mm-hmm. Hockey will cost a lot of money. And so, we need to go out and try and find those resources. And the challenge is to raise that kind of money. I think a lot of people who haven't necessarily raised money on a professional level they think you do it in quantity, right? You go out and say, well, we'll go out and raise it $100,000 at a time. $100,000 at a time to get to whatever this number is, whether it's $30 million or $60 million or $80 million, that's a lot of $100,000
No
gifts.
doubt.
And so, the good thing is there are probably 10 to 20 people who have the capacity and the potential interest in supporting a project like this that make it relatively straightforward for us to figure out if this is really a possibility or not. We can work our way through that list.
So you got people that have reached out to you.
Well, or who we have identified, and so we know who we're going to talk to. Some of those conversations have happened, some haven't. And once we get through that list, we need to be disciplined enough to say, okay, look, we've got it figured out. Let's go do it. Or because what's going to happen is people who love hockey are going to keep coming forward saying, here's $20,000, here's $50,000, and that's a lot of money, and we're grateful for it. But in reality, for us to get to tens of millions of dollars, there's going to have to be a gift or multiple gift equaling tens of millions of dollars, and that's and so we're gonna know hopefully in relatively short order. And I'm not going to commit to a time frame, but
come on,
It'll be not measured in years, I don't think, how long it'll take for us to figure this out.
That's awesome.
What would that mean for your athletic department?
I think it's huge. If I didn't think it was huge, again, we wouldn't be going through the exercise. I think that.
I mean, Penn State, it seems to be monstrous already for them.
It is, and it's not just about hockey. Although hockey is a big piece of it. I think it would be great to get our fans together that many nights a year again to give them something to celebrate.
Yes.
I think it's something we could be really great at,
right?
Because of the quality of play that's happening in the state of Illinois. We produce the 5th most Division I hockey players in the country, but we have no Division I hockey programs. So I think we could be really, really good. I think that would help enhance our reputation, our brand. I think it would get our fans excited. But also, as you start, especially considering different venue possibilities, the benefits of hockey to a volleyball, to a wrestling, to a gymnastics, I think is pretty exciting. And then also the other things you could do in a venue like that when you get that kind of square footage in terms of attracting youth tournaments. You take up, say you've got 2 or 3 sheets of ice, you melt the ice, you put 12, 15 volleyball courts in there, you have a youth volleyball tournament over a summer weekend, you put down 35 wrestling mats, you have a youth wrestling tournament, you can bring in a trade show. There's a lot of things you can do with that kind of square footage that I think could really be transformative for our community. And so that's one of the things I get excited about is because you guys know me well enough. I'm a pretty big picture guy when it comes to what I call the power of college athletics, and it's not just about what happens in our little bubble, but it's about how our little bubble can impact the institution, the community, the state, and I think hockey, and then the venue it would mean, and then all these other things could be really profound for Champaign-Urbana, and that's what excites me almost as much as anything about the project.
How much national sports do you get to watch? I mean, when NFL football rolls around, do you get excited like all of us? Do you play fantasy football?
I don't play fantasy.
That'd be awesome.
It's actually against NCAA rules.
Oh, that's right.
If I were to participate in any of the money leagues, but I don't do any of the free leagues either. I just don't have time. It's tough. I do enjoy it when I get a moment. I'll probably try and I assume the NFL's opening up on that Thursday night like they have for years. I try and tune into that. Occasionally you find yourself on a Sunday afternoon with a little time, but it's just we've got a pretty great thing going, and I put a lot of focus on that, and doesn't leave as much attention as I might otherwise want for other things, and including. I grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. I actually was listening on the way over. Heard you talking about Joey Votto, and a great player. And but I've never seen him play. I've never been to the new Reds Park. I'd like to go. It's not even new anymore. It's old. But it's all fun when I have a chance to engage with it. But I just don't have that many opportunities.
You're a busy man.
How much are you, because you're busy? How much are you taking part in the first birthday celebrations?
Oh boy,
it's coming up. It's coming up, and
keep it simple. That's what we did.
Trust me. We have the same motto here, so we're working on that. My wife's excited. She showed me the other day. She's got a new onesie that says one on it, so she's already got the outfit for her.
I love it.
And Tate's great. She now stands by herself.
Awesome.
She doesn't have to support her, so she kind of like stands there and wiggles a little bit. So we're expecting first steps here at some point soon. But it's been a lot of fun.
What a joy!
Heck of a couple of years.
It's been an unbelievable couple of years,
without a doubt. Well, Josh Whitman, very kind of you to come in,
guys. Thanks again for all you've done. I know this isn't an official goodbye, but at least to the way this is constituted, it's been a real pleasure for me the last year and a half getting to know you, and really grateful for the coverage you give to the program. I know, we have an interesting relationship, right? It's
right
with whether it's with you guys or the News Gazette or any of the other outlets. It's we need you need us, and sometimes that comes with some tension, and sometimes it comes with some pats on the back, but. At the end of the day, you do a great job of helping us tell the story of Fighting Illini athletics, and we have a lot of good things to tell, and I hope in the years ahead we've got even more, and it'll be Tay and Carp and Jay and everybody else, and looking forward to staying a part of that, and again, just grateful for everything you've done. So thanks and congrats on the new opportunities.
Thank you.
Look forward to being back with you both separately.
There you go.
Appreciate that, Josh.
Josh, it's good to call you friend, buddy.
Okay.
All right, we're going to join Cardinal baseball in action. It is the Tay and J Show.
Game.
we always hear about the players, whether you've been to Fenway or not, kind of taking some time to take it all in. There was a great piece, you and Jose Martinez behind the Green Monster, as he kind of, again, took it all in, found a spot to sign his name. What's that like, and what's that like to see a guy who's never experienced that before, Jim, be able to be a part of it and to be a part of history now with his name on the wall?
For a guy like Jose Martinez, who took a very long route to get to the major leagues, he appreciates everything, and he called Fenway a legendary place, and he was so excited to go inside the Monster and have the opportunity to sign the wall. So just watching him kind of take it all in, for me, was pretty amazing. But there are a number of Cardinals. Randall Grichuk said this was one of the ballparks he always dreamed of playing in. He and Paul DeYoung actually went through the stands where they were trailing a tour that was going through just so they can go on top of the Green Monster and look out. And then they went in and signed it. And I think the other thing is someone like Jed Jerko, who, still appreciates, baseball history, went in to see if he could find his signature. He had signed it once before and he couldn't, so he signed it again.
And not just current Cardinals, but former Cardinals. We saw Joe Kelly in the game last night. He's had a lot of success in Boston. Have you had a chance to catch up with Joe?
Yeah, we have a feature running on the Fox Sports Midwest pregame where Joe took us on a tour of the Red Sox bullpen, and there's a story to it. There's pictures over where each guy in the bullpen sits, where each reliever has a spot, and he said it started because when Kelly first went to the bullpen, he sat down, and Kimbrel came and said, "No, that's my spot." And Joe was like, "Well, I like it." And he said, "No, we all have spots." And so Joe said, "I took it upon myself to mark off whose spot is where." And he said he did it by asking each player to get a high school photo. And then so there's pictures of each player, but there's a theme. And the theme that's out there right now is all the Red Sox relievers with pictures above where they're supposed to sit as Game of Thrones characters. And he said that's been going well. They've done other themes. He said the next one will be prom night. And they keep, if they're in a hot streak, they leave it alone. If there's a cold streak, then they change up the pictures. But always great to catch up with Joe Kelly, who's one of the true characters in baseball.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You don't expect anything less from a guy like Joe, right? I thought you were going to say that they started this, 10, 20 years ago with pictures in the bullpen, but I shouldn't be surprised that Joe was behind it.
Yeah, because he's, first of all, he's a young guy who also, I think, feels entitled. Hey, I'm Joe Kelly, and he's like, I'm going to sit here. And he told me, Kimbrel usually takes 3 or 4 naps before a game, so he didn't know any better until Kimbrel showed up. But he took it upon himself to get things organized out there.
Hey, Lance Lynn goes tonight, Jim. Since the start of July, a 1.66 ERA and 48 2/3 innings. That's the best in Major League Baseball. He took a shot off the head last game, although he said it was off his hat. It just continues to not only impress post-game, but his numbers this year, coming off Tommy John amidst trade rumors, these are some of the best he's ever had, especially over the last 2 months.
Well, the numbers are great. The post-game performances are better. As you know, it's performance art. But I think that says something about who Lance Lynn is. Some guys get distracted by things, and you talk about the possibility of having to move, being traded, the uncertainty, seeing your name pop up in trade rumors and speculation. And he locked it in. I mean, he's been the best pitcher in baseball over that stretch. And even something like a line drive back to the head isn't going to rattle him. He said, when the training staff came out after he got hit, he said he looked into their soul and told them to get lost.
Well, you guys at Fox Sports Midwest are so kind to help us out with some of the post-game audio after some of the road games, so cannot wait for some performance art. And hopefully Lance will kick things off by saying it was a good team win, because that's what the Cardinals need tonight, a good team win.
He's a constant delight, and boy, do they need a good team win. They get a win tonight and head to Pittsburgh with a little momentum, and try to, optimize that 8-game winning streak they had. I think that'd be great to see.
Jim Hayes, Fox Sports Midwest, joining us from Fenway. Appreciate it, man. Have a good time tonight.
Always a pleasure.
All right, when we come back, we will hear from manager Mike Matheny. Luke Voigt, nice night last night, couple of hits, a double, couple of runs. He earns a spot in the lineup.
I know that this is a good opportunity for him to come in, and he's done a nice job at first base also, so we need to give Carp a rest like we did last night. He's a great option for us, but he's a dangerous hitter and a guy who's taking good at-bats no matter what role we put him in.
Back to Fenway to hear from the skipper next in the Cardinals Radio Network.
Scotty here with a quick message for the St. Clair County Transit District. Whether you live in the Metro East, outstate Illinois, or in another state, and if you're planning a group outing of 25 or more to a Cardinals game, consider the Redbird Express from the St. Clair Square in Fairview Heights, Illinois, by securing your own bus or buses. The Redbird Express is affordable, convenient, safe, and provided by the St. Clair County Transit District, proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals. To secure your group's ride on the Redbird Express, go to scctd.org.
The 4,000 ASE certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care will tell you, if you've got the power, you need the traction. Right now at Firestone Complete Auto Care, get $70 on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card by mail when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Offer valid August 10th through October 8th. In-store only. Claim form required. Excludes Blizzak. Restrictions apply. See claim form for eligible tires and details. Prepaid card issued by the Bancorp Bank, member FDIC.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966, Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
Oh, hey, hi, hello there. It's me, your air conditioner. You can call me AC if you want, but Mr. Conditioner is my dad's name. Okay, listen, you may have noticed that I'm using a lot of energy right now, and that's why you need to call an expert. Yep, the experts can give me a precision tune-up, so you'll save up to 30% on energy bills, and I won't have to work so hard, which is great because I'm about to pass out.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save $41 off an AC Precision Tune-Up. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day.
Tapman's Towing.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. We have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
There's a time for work. There's a time for play. There's a time to do things you don't do every day. There's a place to go for tools and machines and people with knowledge about these things. We've been here since 53 to meet your rental needs. When the time comes, we're the place for everything. Rental City.
Weekends Only's mission is to save you money. Come in this weekend for the biggest selection at the best prices on furniture and mattresses. Open Friday through Sunday and online at weekendsonly.com. Weekends Only is a proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. Chris Raby with you. Mike Anderson, our producer engineer, and the Cardinals and Lance Lynn getting ready to take on the Red Sox. Let's head back to Fenway. The manager chat with Mike Matheny, always brought to you by Webster University.
Mike, last night was one of those games when the runs started scoring. They didn't let up for a while. And in a ballpark like Fenway Park, it doesn't have to happen with home runs either.
No, it can happen in a hurry, and it did. You know, we just started obviously seeing some balls get into the air, and that left field wall always going to play that way. If you get it in the air, it's got a great opportunity for something big to happen. And they put together a big inning, and they did get some ground balls through, some hard hit balls, and then started getting some balls that were elevated, caused some damage.
How concerned are you about the recent starts for Mike Leake?
Well, you start to see some really good innings, especially early on. It just seems like there may be, as the pitch count gets a little deeper, you start to see maybe the ball flatten out. Yesterday I mentioned postgame about ball coming up, and there's some truth to that, but it's basically more about the movement late in the zone to where he would normally get a ground ball, that when it doesn't have that bite to it, you're seeing balls that are hitting on the line or even getting elevated. But when he's right and he's strong, he's able to get the ground ball to get himself out of a mess, just like he did early yesterday. We gave up the one. It really could have been a lot more than that, and he did a nice job of limiting the damage by getting hitters to get over-aggressive on a ball that's really moving down in the bottom of the zone.
In this game, Mike, it's kind of difficult to realize that if the shortstop, DeYoung, makes a catch on a ball that just glanced off his glove, that might be a difference of 4 or 5 runs.
Yeah, it could have been a big difference. And so that always it's always something you're watching, especially when they're ground balls that are just out of reach. We saw that with Carlos in his last start, where he had a couple ground balls to Colton's glove side and then one up to the middle, and both of those would have been very good defensive plays, but if they were made, you probably wouldn't have had first inning trouble that he had. When you see those balls on the ground happening, I think that's typically a good sign of how the movement on the ball is working. But when you start seeing those line drives, the balls that are hit hard and then just taking off gloves, you know that the hard hit balls are probably going to translate into runs if it continues to not change.
How proud were you of your team, the way the Cardinals answered with 3 runs after that 8-run inning against Porcello, who picked up steam with a triple play for one thing and then a big inning?
He didn't make many mistakes at all, and he wasn't making mistakes on the plate. He was just on the corners or off, and you could tell that there were a lot of even strike 3 calls where guys were coming back frustrated. We were going to check, and they were very good pitches. He had one inning there where he did get into plate a little bit too much. Had a couple of young guys come through, with Luke Voigt getting an opportunity, and then Carson getting an at-bat to take advantage of the mistakes that were made that didn't have the corners. So when you have a pitcher like a Porcello who's a pitch maker and he's on the corners, you're going to have a long day.
So you have Luke Voigt in the lineup today as the DH.
Giving Luke an opportunity, and he keeps showing those great at-bats, even as a pinch hitter. You try to get him a little bit more consistent appearances, and know that this is a good opportunity for him to come in, and he's done a nice job at first base also, so we need to give Carp a rest like we did last night. He's a great option for us, but he's a dangerous hitter and a guy who's taking good at-bats no matter what role we put him in.
And you have Lance Lynn on the mound, and anytime you put one of your 5 starters out there, Mike, you have to feel good about your chances.
Yeah, I feel good about our starting pitching, and these are the dog days. You're going to have guys that are going to have certain starts when they're just off a little bit, and it doesn't look like they normally do, because it's just a game where you run into a hot offense that's going to capitalize on any mistake that you make, and there's other days you're going to get away with them. But Lance has been very consistent for us and as good as anybody lately, and I really like how he's turning more into a pitcher also. He's using his off-speed a little bit better. He's knowing when to change eye level. He's staying down and trusting his strength with the hard sink and heavy movement, and the kind of guy that we need to step up and have a good start for us today.
Let's have a happy flight tonight.
Sounds great, John. Thank you.
Yeah, it certainly sounds good. The manager chat brought to you by Webster University. Kyle McClellan gives us the game plan. More on Lance Lynn and his success next on the Cardinals Radio Network.
You're at the ballpark every day, crouching down, catching heat, all but invisible. Your job lacks fame and glory, but offers plenty of distracting aches and pains. That's the life of a bullpen catcher. You can't afford to lose focus. Neither can your team. So be prepared with Ace braces, supports, and elastic bandages. And don't be distracted by pain. Ace brand products available at Walgreens.
Now shopping for your family can earn you free gas.
Fill her up, Mom!
That's because you can use Plenty points to save money on Synergy Fuel at participating Exxon and Mobil stations, the exclusive gas partners of the Plenty Rewards program. You'll get $2 in savings on gas for every 200 Plenty points you redeem. How great is that? So download the Plenty app and activate bonus fuel offers from Exxon and Mobil today.
Way to go, Mom!
Total amount of savings depends on points earned. Maximum of 2,500 points per gas purchase. See Plenty.com for details.
The ribeye has the best the greatest steak in town.
If you're looking for Champaign-Urbana's great steak place, it's the Ribeye Restaurant. Still with their famous salad bar and their delicious seasoned fried shrimp and delicious grilled chicken entrees. The Ribeye Restaurant, 1701 South Neal Street in Champaign. For reservations, call 351-9115.
The Ribeye is the best. We're the one, the great one steak place.
For 25 years, Prairie View Landscaping has been the premier locally owned and operated lawn care provider in Central Illinois. Quality products and services aren't just something they say, it's something they do. Prairie View Landscaping is a full-service company, a one-stop shop for all your lawn care and outdoor needs. So call Prairie View Landscaping today at 355-9422. That's 355-9422. Or email Lindy at mypbdiscount@gmail.com. That's mypbdiscount@gmail.com. Prairie View Landscaping, serving Central Illinois for 25 years.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know that quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Let's get the game plan with Kyle McClellan on the Ameren pregame show as we get ready for the Cardinals and the Red Sox. Did you ever play at Fenway?
I did. 2008 was my only time there. And, man, I tell you what, it's like Chicago, right, the history of it. But when you leave the clubhouse, it's a small clubhouse, maybe a little bigger than Chicago. But you walk down this tunnel, and it's dark, it's damp, it's very tight. But as you're walking down there to get to the dugout, you couldn't help but think about all the other players in the game that have walked down that same tunnel to get to the dugout. And it's a really cool place to play, very hard place to play, very difficult. But a great atmosphere, and I really enjoyed it my rookie year.
Did you sign your name inside the Green Monster?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I went out there, took a selfie, I think it was, and signed my name away. It's not what you think. Like I expect to see like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig names up there, and it's not. It's a bunch of schmucks like me that have our names on there. But either way, it was a lot of fun to get back in behind there. I didn't see Manny Ramirez, go in the bathroom behind the wall or whatever it was he did, but it was. It was a great experience.
Well, Cardinals hoping for a good outing from Lance Lynn tonight, and why shouldn't they, Kyle? Since the start of July, 8 starts, 48 2/3 innings, and the best ERA in the big leagues over that span, 1.66. He's given up just 9 earned runs. 2 of them were in his first start in July. What can you say about not only what Lance has done, but what he did during that month, especially in the midst of a lot of trade rumors and a lot of talk?
Yeah, it was just fantastic, and really surprised that he didn't get traded because of that. I mean, this guy's been, the last month or so, he's been one of the best pitchers in the game, and you figured there was going to be a huge market for him and a great return for the Cardinals if they decided to move him, but they kept him, and now they find themselves right in the thick of this thing. He's going to be a huge part of this, especially with Adam Wainwright dealing with things he's dealing with, trying to get back, velocity not where it was. Like Lance Lynn's a guy that you're going to lean on and rely on to go out there and just kind of carry this team.
And I don't want to diminish the importance, especially in this day and age of head injuries. We take them seriously, but Lance passed everything they asked him after he took the ball off his head his last start out. He was kind of laughing about it after the game. But for a guy to stay in a game and then perform, he's gotten through games facing all sorts of adversity this year on the mound. What does that say to his teammates?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think everybody that plays with Lance knows how tough he is. I mean, shoot, just the fact that he pitched through a majority of the season with a torn ligament in his elbow, and everybody knew it except, in that clubhouse knew it, and none of the media or anybody knew, and he just gutted through it and then just decided, I'll have the surgery at the end of the season, but I'm going to get through this. I mean, it shows you how tough he is, and, boy, I tell you what, that was a scary, scary situation there. He got really lucky. It was a glancing blow. But still, after that, I told my wife, I said, even though he stays in, and it doesn't seem to, really be a square shot, and, where he has to come out, it's still having to deal with that and seeing that ball come back and all the questions and everything he had to deal with, it's still go out there and perform. It's not as easy as you think. That will rattle you, whether or not it grazed you or not. It will rattle you a little bit, and you handle it really well. But I don't think there's anybody for a second that knows Lance Lynn that will question his toughness and his ability to go out and grind through it and pitch through things when he's not feeling 100%.
Well, he's going tonight, Cardinals and the Red Sox. Kyle, appreciate the time, man. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Lance Lynn going to be our UMB player to bank on. Just those numbers are incredible. There are so many great offensive numbers as well that Cardinals have put up. Nice night last night for Luke Voigt. Paul DeJong, the only big league player this year to do this. Multiple hits and an RBI in 5 straight games. He's batting .550 with 5 extra base hits, 7 RBI over that stretch. Dexter Fowler in August, since his return, .458, 7 extra base hits, 8 runs, 8 RBI. Cardinals hopefully can get some offense going behind Lance Lynn, who has been tremendous. We check in with Mike Claiborne next on the Cardinals Radio Network.
Okay, so you're driving a sport utility or crossover utility vehicle, and you like your utility without it being utilitarian. You should demand the same from your tires. The remarkable Cursor HSX Tour tire from Mastercraft, specially designed to look great, ride great, and perform even better. With a striking sidewall and tread design molded to an advanced silicon-fused tread compound for a breakthrough all-weather performance. The Cursor HSX Tour, only from Mastercraft.
Visit Tires Plus today. And the Cardinals have won the game on a home run by the Wizard.
Hey, Cardinal fans. Ozzie Smith here for Ameren, Illinois. Are you ready to be an energy-saving whiz? Purchase discounted LED light bulbs at a retail store near you and install them in your home. You'll reduce your lighting costs by as much as 80%. Ameren, Illinois energy efficiency programs put more power in your hands. That's energy at work. To learn more, visit amerenillinois.com/programs.
Want to save money you're smoking and spitting away? Want the friendliest, most knowledgeable staff to help you along the way? Vapors E-Cigs LLC is the place for you. Let their amazing staff help you find the best hardware and juice for you. Earn reward points you can use for discounts on coils, juice, and even 70% off a kit. Do you already vape? Go check out their over 30 premium lines of juice and amazing selection of hardware. Located at 1903 North Neal Street in Champaign and 2 East Main Street next to the courthouse in Danville. Now's definitely the time to stop by Vapors E-Cigs LLC.
If you really want to enjoy life's celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
Okay, U of I Meat Sales Room theme song, take one. The Meat Boat. Soon we'll be grilling another steak. I'm pretty sure that's already been done before. Take 2. I'll eat meat with you. I'll eat burgers and brats. Again, already been done before. Take 3. Meat, 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 meat. Meat, 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 meat. The U of I Meat Sales Room on Maryland and Urbana. They may not have clever theme songs, but they do have the best meat in town.
You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport.
Joe Pfeiffer is with us. He's the Director of Alumni Relations for the St. Louis Cardinals. More importantly, he puts together the fantasy camp. And while I know it's early, it's never too late to start talking about it, especially for those who might want to get that special someone a nice holiday gift, a trip to the fantasy camp in January.
It's never too early to talk fantasy camp, Claves. And actually, we're on sale now for Jupiter in January, and we have to wrap that up by October. There's a lot to plan. So if you want in, now's the time, because we actually won't have a lot of spots available. There's a lot of guys and gals that come to our camps thinking, oh, this is going to be a special experience for my 50th birthday, or it's a Father's Day, or it's a Mother's Day. And then they come once, and we've had guys that have come back now for 15 years in a row.
And they bring their families with us. Joe Vonderhart, his daughter, who might be the toughest fantasy camper I know.
She is the toughest fantasy camper I know. Took a ball right to the mouth in the outfield last year and recovered quicker than a lot of major leaguers do.
Well, you know the story. When she took it in the mouth and she lost a couple of teeth and she needed to have stitches, she didn't want to have stitches because the anesthetic would have affected her drinking later. So she just took it like a real champ.
Well, her father worked for Anheuser-Busch, so she better follow that path. But, our camps, I mean, our average age in camp is right around 50 right now. And regardless of your background and your playing experience, what people come to find out and they leave our camps realizing it's about the stories and the camaraderie and the friendships, and you're hanging out with Cardinals legends and Hall of Famers.
And, you know, the other thing, when those guys leave, they realize, boy, there's somebody worse than I am.
That's usually the case. People are really kind of weary on, well, I haven't played in years. Am I going to be good? I mean, the reality is these guys, once they cross the white lines, it's competitive. They want to win. We have championship rings. There's a reason to play and go for it. But that you don't have to worry about your playing level. We have guys that haven't played since Little League. We have guys that haven't played since high school, college. But
and then there's Preston Wilson.
And then there's our 2006 World Series champion that
struck out 4 times in the fans.
Yeah, he got the golden sombrero in one game at camp last year.
All right, now you're doing something different this year as far as some of the people that are going to come in. We have a lot of Hall of Famers participate, but tell me about the closers.
The second camp, January 25th to the 29th, we do 2 camps in Florida. We're going to have a special experience at our Saturday night banquet. We're going to have Bruce Sutter there. We're going to have Lee Smith, Todd Worrell, Tom Henke, Jason Isringhausen, Al Raboski. Once you start adding up all of those saves, it's incredible. So that's going to be a really fun experience that night. A lot of those guys are going to be our managers in that camp, too.
You know, I would be willing to wager that when you mention all of those guys, the Cardinals may have the most saves of individuals in an organization.
I would think we'd have to. I mean, that'd be interesting to research. I didn't even mention Dennis Eckersley. Mm-hmm. We got to get him to a camp in the future, too. You throw him into the mix, it's incredible. And those are some of the names at the second camp, along with Ozzie Whitey. The first camp, we've January 18th through the 22nd, we're going to have Tony La Russa and Jim Edmonds there. So it's going to be a heavy experience for our campers this year. There's no other camp in baseball that gives you the access to Hall of Famers like the Cardinals do.
All right, so how do people get on board and get information? Because as I mentioned, this is something you want to get on early. It's a great holiday gift or a Father's Day gift or whatever, but you can't wait until those days.
Yeah, a couple ways. Go to cardinals.com/fantasy camp to learn, get some information about what this experience is about in more detail, but then email us at fantasycamp@cardinals.com. We'll answer any questions you have, get you registered, because the reality is so many of our past campers return, there aren't going to be that many spots available.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. You always are.
I do my best. Well, no, I just do now.
You do. I don't know about best anymore.
I gave that up a long time ago. Thank you, and good luck this year. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Claves.
At Welk Resorts, they offer the ultimate San Diego, Palm Springs, Cabo San Lucas, Lake Tahoe, and Branson vacation experiences with spacious villa-style vacation rentals and premier vacation ownership opportunities. Interval International, a major worldwide vacation exchange organization, has honored Welk Resorts with premier status. Stop by one of their marketing booths located inside the stadium today to secure your discounted getaway package. Welk Resorts.
Hi, I'm Matt Carpenter.
And I'm Jed Jerko.
And I'm Jack.
On the field, the power of the baseball can be tremendous, but that doesn't compare to the power of the baseball off the field.
That's right, and every time a home run is hit, it's making a difference in the lives of Cardinal Glennon kids.
Like me. All of the patients love to root on the Cardinals.
So remember, while a baseball can make or break a game, it can also change a life.
We hope you will join our Homers for Health team and help kids like Jack get back in the game.
Make your pledge today at Glennon.org, presented by Heartland Coca-Cola.
You can fly in Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings,
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966, Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
It's hard to believe that it's already time to start preparing for another school year. But luckily for you, Champagne Surplus has what you need to be stylish and comfortable all semester long. They've got Patagonia pullovers, the North Face backpacks, Smart Wool socks, Camelback water bottles, Merrell shoes, and everything else you need to head back to campus. And don't forget that Champagne Surplus is CU's exclusive Patagonia dealer. So stop by Champagne Surplus today for all your back-to-school needs. Champagne Surplus, 303 South Neal Street, downtown Champaign. If you really want to enjoy life's celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta, salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
Well, the Brewers already beat the Pirates earlier today. The Cubs host the Reds. That game gets underway in about an hour. Arizona is in Houston, and the Rockies take on the Braves at Coors Field. Full coverage and standings updates after the game. But for now, we get ready for the Cardinals and the Red Sox. Lance Lynn trying to continue what's been a wonderful last 6 weeks against Eduardo Rodriguez. We head to Fenway Park next as the Cardinals look to split the series and head to Pittsburgh, as John said, on a happy flight. This has been the Ameren pregame show. Baseball is coming up next with John and Rick. Don't go anywhere. It's right here on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
Welcome back to How Well Do You Know Your Meat? Now back to the trivia. The freshest meat comes from your local grocery store. True or false?
True.
No. Contestant number 2.
It's false. The freshest meat in town comes from the U of I Meat Sales Room off of Florida Avenue in Urbana.
Yes, that's correct. You're a winner.
For the freshest cuts of meat in town, visit the U of I Meat Sales Room. Open Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 5:30 and Friday from 8 until 1. Just off Florida on South Maryland in Urbana.
If you really want to enjoy life's celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta, salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
At Body & Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body & Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body & Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport.
Cardinals baseball is brought to you by a reminder from Budweiser.